Okay, I am right now. I want to specify that number beforehand. Yeah,
No
you are right.
worries.
268 billion
Okay, yeah,
in
268.
okay. There we go. So we get rid of the 268 billion, and you're saying that with that 268 billion, we're going to be able to put that into tax cuts. Is that your view?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say that we put that 2.6 billion dollars,
Yep.
or 268 billion dollars, sorry, 2.6 trillion dollars over 10 years, right, into tax cuts. That's not even the big beautiful bill.
Okay,
That's
so
not
you're
even the
saying
big beautiful bill, which most
okay,
of the tax
listen.
breaks go to
Okay.
millionaires and billionaires. You know that
All right,
adds
so listen.
the big beautiful bill adds
Okay.
3.4 trillion dollars a year,
Okay.
or not a year,
So
sorry, over the next
you're
10 years. I apologize.
right.
340 billion a year.
Understand. You're all good. Okay, so you are pushing it aside because because in I understand like in the entire United States, it's a small amount of money, and like we can both agree on that. Compared to how much is actually sent to the entire government, but it's a certain amount of money that I think is useless, and so that's what I'm arguing that amount of money is useless. Not
It's
that.
not useless.
Well, I mean, I gave you, I feel like, a good argument of how it is useless, and we're kind of like going back and forth, but we're not really
No,
getting
you
anywhere with
just
it.
said it was useless because you think that the state governments can provide this. But this is funding from the federal government that is provided to the different states to carry
Okay.
this out.
Well, no. So yeah, it's funding. It's not really funding by the federal government because the
It is.
citizens who are paying taxes are the ones who are funding it,
Yeah,
right?
through the
So
federal government.
okay, yeah, they are paying the federal government, and the government is giving them what is it, $270 billion. Where we could just take our money and only pay the states a portion of that. That would cover the rest of the 10%, and we could keep the part that is paying for the actual department.
Well, I'm
How
not
is that not
understanding your
true?
point. Can you? What was your point? I'm confused.
Okay, so if we don't give $270 billion to the federal government, which that money, goes to the Department of Education, and so we get to keep that money, right? And we end up paying a little bit more in state tax. We're saving, I don't know what the exact number is. I don't know if you could look it up or something, but we get to save that amount of money because we're not funding the entire department. We're only funding the 10%.
Okay, and it would reduce the funding that they have in those states by 10%, meaning they'll have to increase
No,
their
it wouldn't.
taxes.
I just told you we would pay that in state taxes.
I know. That's why they'd have to increase state income tax to be able to do that, or state taxes in general, which is also, and by the way, in most of the ways they have for that are going to disenfranchise working class people unless they increase state taxes, especially in red states where they aren't willing to increase state taxes. Plus, if you're saying that they'll have to increase the state taxes, well, you understand a lot of red states won't want to do that as much, meaning that they then will just literally reduce the amount that they're expending on literally the students in their state.
Well, okay, so you're using like a this could happen, right? It
No,
it, it
I'm not
hasn't,
saying this
and
could
so
happen. This would happen.
okay. Well, I mean, do you have any proof that like this has happened before or something like this, or is it kind of like an argument that like holds no water?
If you think that
When have you seen this
Republicans,
happen?
I've already told you multiple times, I brought it up with Medicaid, I brought it up with food stamps, I brought it up with Social Security, I brought it up specifically with countless things in terms of social programs. If you do cut it from a federal standpoint, the states will not carry it as much as they do specifically, right, in terms of red states comparative to blue states. We've already gone over this. What do you mean that holds no water? I've already told you the response to this. Why do you act like I didn't?
I mean, I'm saying it just like it doesn't make any sense. Like I feel like you're not understanding like the point that I'm coming from because
Repeat
your
what I just
answer,
said.
like yeah, like I just said, I don't understand what you're saying. Like
What did I just say?
okay, I'll say it again. I don't understand what you're saying, right? It doesn't like that's not an answer to my question, right? So your answer doesn't make any sense to me.
So what did I say?
Like I just said, your answer does not make any sense to me.
Okay, so but what did I say that didn't make sense?
Your answer,
What specifically did I say that didn't make
all
sense?
your entire answer. I'm not doing this
What
like back and
what
forth.
about
Like
what I
your
said?
entire answer,
Be
all of it.
specific at all.
You're saying that the red states are going to end up getting less funding because we take like that's just, none of that is true. If we took the money and we go directly to the states, it would cut
I
back
hate
on the
talking
money
to people
that we
like this.
send to
Why
the
are they so
Department of
dishonest? Like,
Education.
why are you purposefully dishonest? Like, why do you
I'm
do
not
this? It's
being
either
perfect. Look,
it's either you're being dishonest or you're purposefully not listening.
oh, Parker, I'm listening to you. There's also like no reason to like get all frustrated. Like we're just having a conversation.
Do I seem extremely frustrated right now?
You do. I don't understand why people do this. Like I don't understand why they come up and act like this. It does.
So I'm just saying, why are you acting like this? And
Acting like what?
what did I just describe? I literally just told you. You're acting like I didn't already describe the exact reason.
Okay, like, look, let's just start. I'm not doing this whole back and
What
forth.
what
All right,
was the reason?
what
What
did you
what was the
say? Go
reason that
ahead,
red
say it
areas will
again.
have what was the reason why red areas will have less funding than blue areas if you cut the federal funding to apply for all states?
I'll be honest. I don't. Now that we talked, whatever, I don't remember
Okay.
exactly what you said, but I
Okay.
disagree that
I'll tell you then.
that's true.
So Republican areas tend to fund social programs less than Democratic areas, whether it be education or other sorts of things. Red states invest less in these things. Okay, so if red states
Okay.
invest less in terms of education, if they invest less in terms of social programs such as food stamps, such as Medicaid, such as those particular programs, when we do leave it up to the states, inevitably speaking, we see that red areas provide these to a lesser degree than the blue areas continue to provide them. Okay? You are
Okay.
disputing that.
So here, so what I'm saying is that now I understand, right? You're saying that in history you see, well, in the past you've seen them not give as much money, which makes sense. I don't know if you're going. Can you still hear me, Parker?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So all I'm saying is we're gonna essentially, like, instead of um, I don't know how to explain it, but all we're doing is moving the money somewhere else and then sending, and then like some of the money could stay back to the taxpayer itself. So it wouldn't be, well, I don't think that they would, up it where it can cover the rest of the 10%. If all we do is we just move the money around, the money's already there. We're just moving it around and saving taxpayers money.
No, you're not, because it's not going to reduce your taxes anymore. There's no policy on top of what's being passed specifically to reduce your taxes because of the Department of Education going away. Okay, there's no good argument for that. And even so, it's not going to fix the amount of debt related spending that was put into place specifically from the Big Beautiful Bill.
Okay.
I've
Well,
already told you this. I don't know why you
yeah.
didn't respond to that
I mean, I don't
originally.
really know. Like, I feel like honestly, like, I don't know. I don't feel like you're understanding what I'm saying. And so, like, I don't know, like, like what else to really say.
I've already responded and explained it to you multiple times. What was confusing about what I said?
What there was nothing. Now I understand like what you were saying, right? But yeah, what you had said to me, I don't think it had anything to do. Like what I was doing was explaining why, and then like you gave me a whole. Well, red states don't pay as much because of this and this and this, and like it just doesn't. All we're doing is moving the. All we would be doing is moving the money around, and it would save. Honestly, I can see how much goes to the other stuff. Give me one sec.
So if you already can justify that it's not going to save you anything because other spending that the Trump administration has put in place, right, has caused more debt related spending than that, then you're just going to be taking away from the debt that was originally imposed by the Trump administration to a greater extent. And if the Trump
Okay,
administration imposes a greater amount of debt related spending, then how can you say it's saving the taxpayers money? It makes no sense to me.
Okay, then let's just go off of what you just said. Okay, so all we would be doing was cutting down the debt. You think that's a negative?
I do think that we would cut down the debt more under a Democratic administration. So I do think that if you wanted to cut down the debt, you would have not supported Trump originally. And Trump's unwilling to cut the debt by increasing taxes on the very rich and wealthy.
Okay, so I mean now this is kind of moving whatever. I have to go in just a few minutes, but I'll go with this. So you were saying that it's unfair that the rich don't have to pay as much taxes. Like that's the argument that you're talking about.
The top billionaires do pay a lower effective tax rate than the working class.
Okay. So my question to you is, what do you think is equal? You think a percent that is like, this example, 30% across the board, everybody pays 30%, or you think that there should be something else? Like, what do you think it should be?
It should be a progressive tax structure. The
And go
more
ahead and
money you
explain
make,
that.
the more percent you pay.
Okay. All right. And so how is that fair?
Because I would rather the taxes be imposed on the very richest individuals than the very lowest income individuals, because the very lowest income individuals spend a greater proportion of their income on consumer goods and cost of living. Whereas if you're richer, right, you spend less of your income on cost of living.
Okay. And so that is not what fair is, right? Fair would be 30% across the board, everybody pays, right? So if you had $100, you would pay $3. If you had 100 million, you would pay 3 million, or sorry, 30 million, whatever. But that would be even, right? Because that's what it's worth, right? Like taxes,
That doesn't make
that's
sense. So think about it this way: if our
okay.
tax rate inevitably is say 25%, do you think you should
Okay.
pay 25% on $5 made?
I think everyone should pay 25%. So yes, in that case, yes,
So if someone makes $5, they got to pay a dollar.
yes. Okay, well, who makes $5? Come on, like,
Or sorry, $4. You have to pay a dollar because we said 25%. I
yeah, you're right.
apologize.
Then that would be 25. Correct. That would be even. Is that not correct? Like that, 25% across the board would be even. No.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous though, because I do think that again, someone's gonna have to spend a greater proportion of their income on cost of living if they're lower income. So say you make $10,000 in a year, most of your
Okay.
income is gonna go to cost of living, all of it, I would say actually. Okay, for someone who makes say $100 million, does all of their income go to what cost of living? No, it doesn't. So
No.
they can
You're correct.
afford to
No.
proportionally pay more than someone who is lower income.
Okay.
So
So
it's that I
question,
would
and why?
rather
That's all.
it's
Yeah.
it's not that I just want to tax people just to tax them for no reason. We're taxing them because we want a benefit in terms of being able to use that money towards some sort of social good for society, some sort of benefit for the people.
Okay. So like, I guess this is more. It's kind of hard to argue, like debate about it because it's more of a, an opinion thing. But I think in my world, even is even, and so 25% across the board would be even. Where you're saying you're gonna, you're gonna make someone pay more percent wise if they make more. It's not the like you shouldn't. The rich people should not be like we shouldn't go after them because they make so much more. So now you're going to spend more. If everyone pays the same amount, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I just don't think that's fair because I would prefer a system where we specifically can provide more for people in need because again, you're not taking into account the cost of living.
Yeah. So I see. I understand your point and why you're saying it. On it, like I do, but I just don't think that that's fair. And so like fair would be 25% across the board. I understand if you have to pay for
That's
a
not fair.
house
I
and
already
food
explained
and
how
all
it's
of
not
that.
fair because of cost of
Okay,
living.
well then I know you can't tell people to like make more money, but if you can't afford where you're at, what you got to do is make more money, right? The government already
So
gives
just get like a
food
fifth
stamps,
job.
housing,
Just
all that kind of
get a
stuff.
fifth job, everybody. If you're not making enough money,
Okay,
get another job. Is that what you're saying?
no, I mean I don't know what you have to do, but if you can't afford whatever, the government gives money out to people who cannot afford, right? They give you food. You're not going to go hungry in America. Like, can't you
People
agree?
do. People do.
Okay, but
There are plenty of
if you take
individuals that are
advantage
food
of food
insecure. There are plenty of
stamps,
individuals that you say like all of these systems are provided. You know that people were cut off of food stamps. People were cut off of their health insurance because of Republican policy, right? So when you act like everyone gets these programs, no, the fuck they don't. There are plenty of people that do not get helped by these programs that are in between in the system, that fall between the cracks of the system. We need better systems, okay? When Republicans constantly defund these programs, it reduces people's access to things that they need, okay? This isn't this we're not talking about people getting a mansion every single person. We're talking about basic amenities, food, shelter, heat, right? Like basic things you need to
which
live,
will be
dude.
given to you by the federal government if you
It's
cannot
not
afford it.
fully right now. What you're not understanding is that
Well,
in order
okay,
to
so
be able
do
to
you
fund our
think it should be
systems,
fully?
we cannot have just a flat tax to be able to fund the systems. We need to have a progressive tax
Okay,
structure to do so. Otherwise, we're going to be taking too much from the lowest income individuals, and that's ridiculous to me. There needs to
okay,
be a
well,
progressive structure. If you
that's
do not
fine.
agree with the progressive structure, you're inevitably going to have horrible outcomes for the country.
Okay, and do you think everything should be? I saw one of the comments that said life's not fair. I think that's a goofy comment considering that we're talking about the United States. Don't you agree that the United States should be fair for everybody who lives here?
I don't think it's fair for the people who can't afford their health care. I don't think it's fair for the people who can't afford their
Okay,
child care,
well,
their housing affordability, the basic things they need in their life, the food that they need to put on the table. I don't think it's fair for them. So if you want to talk about fairness, that's why I'm saying I believe in a progressive tax structure. Because the current society that we live in, if we just leave it up to the capitalist markets, it is not fair. That's the reality. It's not fair. We need a baseline, a bare minimum for everyone to ensure fairness.
yeah. So in that, the only thing I see is in your like what you're saying it should be is we're hurting the people who work hard and make a lot of money. So we're going to end up hurting them and making them spend way more money on taxes than the people who, and obviously not all of them. I know
Dude,
a
if
lot
you
of
make a lot
people
of money, you're
struggle.
paying back
Okay.
to the society
Okay.
that you specifically are able to make
All
money
right.
in the very
Well,
first place.
all right. So like I was saying before, I understand in very very many cases. Honestly, I mean, I have a lot of people around me. You know what I mean? That live very very poor. But in most cases, it's the person's fault, right? Like, I mean, couldn't you agree?
No.
You don't think it's the person's fault in most cases why they
No, not at all.
why is that?
Because I don't have this black and white view of reality that if someone specifically is not doing well financially, that means that they're the reason they're in that position.
So you don't think I mean, I understand not at all of them, and I,
Understandable.
I agree that not all of them, but in most cases you don't think that it's because the person, doesn't want to work, like
No.
because the government gives so much,
Most people
it's
work.
easier for the person not to work.
Most people work. This idea that like people are just not working, they're just getting the system and benefits is just not true. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can't say it's not true. You can believe that most are not, but I know people who,
Yeah,
play the system
most are
away.
not. Of
So
course, there are individuals that fraud the system. Of course, there are individuals that take from the system when they don't deserve. But just because there is at least one person, proportionally, like one person out of like say 100,000 people, does not mean you should restrict people from getting access to things in which they need. Like for example, like this is a common thing that people bring up. A conservative, like such as yourself, will decide to not pay or provide food for for 500 people in need because one person didn't deserve it. Whereas we would be willing to literally provide it for people, for 500 people, given that we still know that there was, say, even 20 people that didn't deserve it. Because we wanted to ensure that the other 480 people who did deserve it are given access to it. The idea that because a small portion of people are going to get it who do not deserve it is a reason why we shouldn't give it to the people who do deserve it. It's the most ridiculous, absurd thing to me. If you just want to find ways to reduce the likelihood of people who don't deserve it getting it, sure, that makes sense. If you want to find ways specifically to reduce frauds within our systems, sure, makes sense. But to say that people who do deserve these programs don't or shouldn't get these programs because others who don't deserve it get it is fucking ridiculous to me.
all right, so I have two
Find a
questions.
different route.
All right, so I have kind of like two questions for you. Like you can answer them. All right, so you think that the only solution is to punish the rich,
No, that's
right?
no. I think that the only solution specifically is to tax the rich. If you consider that a punishment, consider it a punishment. I don't care. If you consider
Okay,
tax as a punishment, I'm sorry, but like this is how society functions.
no, 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 no. So I don't think that tax. I don't think paying. Obviously, like we need taxes. Like we can all agree. I don't think that taxing is a punishment, but overtaxing because someone does well for themselves and because they're wealthy. They've worked hard, or I know like some rich people don't actually like work hard, but obviously they were in the right spot at the right time. They did something, and that's why that they're rich, right? And so
Evan, Evan,
let's
I
punish
understand
those
where you're
people.
coming from, but I don't think the level of taxation that I'm advocating for is overly taxing people. Okay, I think that the level I'm advocating for is well within reason.
Okay, and like what I mean, I don't agree, but just curious. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you?
Ask a level of income, and I'll tell you what specific percentage I think that
Okay,
they should likely be taxed, or
all
I'd
right.
be
So
willing for them to be taxed
sure.
up to.
All right. So the average in the United States is probably I don't know household what 60,000. Is just a guess off the top of my head. How much do you think they should be paying?
How much should they be paying?
Yeah. Let's just say one person who makes $60,000. How much should they pay in taxes?
Less than 10%. If
Okay.
anything,
What about someone?
I would argue for policies that would make it so that they wouldn't even have to inevitably pay essentially anything in taxes, right?
Okay, that is insane. That is absolutely insane.
It's not.
I mean, I disagree. Okay, what about somebody who's making over
How is that
100?
insane to say that someone who's making $60,000 shouldn't have to pay much in taxes, or that we should advocate for a system where they have to pay less in taxes?
So you're saying someone who makes $60,000, you think they shouldn't have to pay any taxes? Well, you want to make it where they shouldn't have to pay any taxes.
I think I would be comfortable with a system in which it's like that, given that we could fund it that way. But I don't know the reliability in a system like that would make sense. When it comes to 60,000, right? It makes sense to tax them 10%. 15% maximum. I would not be okay with them being taxed more than that, actually.
Okay, so what? So what about 100,000 or a million? I mean, 100,000. How much do you think? Close to the same, I'm guessing.
100,000, it's probably up to 20% is maximum I'd be okay with.
Okay, and then where's your point where it's like everyone above this point is paying a certain percent? Like you're talking about like the top five,
Like,
the top
yeah, I'm
1%.
talking like when we're talking about the highest levels of income, right? Let's say $100 million in a year. They should be taxed 50%. Absolutely.
Whoa, that is insane.
Absolutely. And if anything, that's low.
Okay, so why would we want anyone like why would anybody want to become the top 1% if all they're gonna do is tax the shit out of them?
Hey, if you make $100 million and you come home back with 50 million, you're gonna be fine.
No, well, I mean, obviously, yeah, you're gonna be fine in society, right? But they're gonna take half of what you're making.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like no, that is
Why? What's wrong with that?
taking 50% of what you're making.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that makes no sense. You should not
Why?
tax people. You should not tax the rich 50%. Tax people who are making $60,000 nothing.
Why? That seems like a better system to me.
No, okay, you just said that you want it fair, right? Fair
What
would be
percent
the
would you
same
like?
number
What
across
what
the
percent?
board.
What percent would you like?
I'm not sure what the federal government needs, but let's just say it was 30%. I think if you're making ten
So
thousand
you
dollars a
think
year,
so
you
you
pay
think someone
30%.
making $60,000 a year should pay 30% of their income?
I'm not saying the exact number of 30%, right?
So,
But
so by the
if
way,
like whatever the government
you just
needs,
argued. So you think I'm the absurd one, but you just argued for people making $60,000 a year to pay 3 times more than what I advocated for them to have to pay.
I think everyone should have to pay the exact same number. That is fair. Fair
Okay,
would be the same number across the board.
but just think about it this way: like under your model
Okay.
versus my model, the person making $60,000 a year would pay 3 times less under my model than your model.
Yes, I understand that, but like that's not fair. Okay, so we don't just not tax you because they don't make a lot of money, right? We tax everybody the same amount, and so if you want to end up making more money, you figure out how to make more money, and so that comes with paying more taxes, right? But that's
So I don't think that everyone should pay the same percent. I think that that's a ridiculous standard. Someone making $10,000 a year, should they pay $3,000 in taxes?
okay. So how is it fair? You're saying that you don't think that across the board.
Someone
How is
making
that
ten
fair?
thousand dollars in a year, should they pay $3,000 in taxes?
Yes.
$3,000, so you only get 7,000 back.
Yes, Parker, that's even, right? If everyone pays 30%, that's fair. You don't think that that
Doesn't
we
that
should all
provide
pay
less?
fair tax?
Okay, I just want to know you're advocating to increase taxes on the poor because right now, right, people who are making $10,000 do not pay 30%. Even under Trump's system, they pay
Yeah, I don't
nothing.
think people
Why?
who make
Because the standard
$10,000 pay
deduction
any
is more than
tax.
that. The standard deduction is more than that. You're saying people who don't pay anything right now should be paying 30% of their income.
Okay, so actually,
That's
right now
not
in the United
affordable.
States,
How the
okay,
fuck are they
all
going to
right,
live?
okay, all right. Right now in the United States, I don't believe you pay any taxes until you make about 15,000. So I don't
I
think
think the
that
standard
that
deduction,
argument
I
of
mean,
10,000 is matters at all. Okay, but
yeah.
the
You just
average
you
person
just
make.
said they
All
should
right,
pay
look up Parker.
3,000. You just said they should pay 30% at
How much does the
10,000.
average? How much does the average person make in the United States?
The average household or average individual?
Average
Do
individual.
you want to do median or average?
The average.
Why average over median? Median. I'll tell you median personal income because I think it's a better metric. 51,370.
All right, we'll use that. $50,000. Okay, yeah, you can be taxed on $50,000.
What
So
should
you
the
using the
tax be for the
you
person who
using the
makes
$10,000 argument
$51,000?
is it has nothing to do with anything. Okay, so if you want to talk about the low, we'll talk about $50,000. At 50 grand, you can afford to pay taxes because you're paying 30, just the 30%. You're paying 30%. It's going to be way smaller than the people who are making hundreds of millions, but it's fair,
Wait, so
right? I
so
think
by the
that's how
way,
the
let
United
me
States.
just tell you, the current tax rate for income in the United States at around 51,000 is around 12%. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? So you're advocating for them to pay almost 3 times the current
Like
rate
I
that they
said,
pay.
not exactly 30%. We're using that as an example. I'm not sure, like what the federal government needs So that would
But
determine
like
like what
in
the
order
actual
to be
number
able
is.
to
But
fund the systems that we have, you need something like that. But you just said essentially that you'd be okay with income being taxed at almost 3 times the rate that it's currently being taxed at by making $50,000 a year. That's unaffordable for the average American. You would bankrupt the average American. That's what your tax policy is. That's why a flat tax system is insane and ludicrous. Because either you're not going to be able to pay for the things that people need, or you're going to have such a ridiculous tax rate for the lowest levels of income. Like for example, let's say you do 12% because you want to keep the same tax rate for people at 50,000. Okay, well then you can't fund any federal programs because the rich are only paying 12%. You can't do
all
it.
right,
So
well,
you
okay,
do
yes, I
need
don't
a
think it should be
progressive tax
12.
structure in order to be able to set things up. Otherwise, you're advocating to increase taxes on working class people in this country.
Okay, so when we I don't, you're not making any sense. Do you want it to be fair or no? Do you want
Yes,
taxes
I
to
do
be
want it to
fair or
be
no?
fair. I think a
Okay,
progressive
so
tax
fair
structure
would be
is
across the
fair.
board. Fair would be across the board.
No, the only notion of fairness is not just a flat tax system. Why are you saying why are you making the claim the only way that you can establish fairness is by saying it's a flat tax system? Why is that your argument?
Because that would be fair. Like I don't
To
understand like what other
you,
possibility
to
would be fair.
you, I
How
don't
is it not
consider
fair to
that
anybody
fair.
else?
I don't
Okay, why?
consider that fair.
Why?
Fair does not always mean equal.
Where does fair not mean equal? Like in what sense? Like just give me an
Yeah,
example.
for example,
Okay.
when you have the same equal percentage that you're paying, are you paying the same amount? No, you're not. So you
Obviously
think
not.
it's fair for them to pay different amounts?
No, what? No. You're not understanding what I'm saying. It's not the same amount.
Yeah.
No,
You're not
because I
understanding
didn't
what I'm
say.
saying.
No, listen. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second. No,
Under your own
equal.
flat tax
Okay.
system, you're still
All right.
arguing that it's
Okay. Let
justified
me
and
know when it's
fair
my
for them
turn
to
to
pay
talk.
different amounts.
Okay. Let me know when it's my turn to talk.
Can you acknowledge what I just said? The reason why
Okay.
I'm cutting you off right now is because I know that you're not going to respond to what I just said. And I'm trying to get you to respond to it by repeating it.
Okay, no. Okay, so the like you said, equal, that example. No, I'm not saying everyone should pay, for example, $10,000. Every human pays $10,000. No, a percent would be fair. Because I understand, like, yeah, not everybody can afford the $10,000, but a percent, if everyone's getting taxed 30%, that would be equivalent, right? What's equivalent to me of $100 to Elon Musk might be $1 million, right? But we're both getting taxed in the same amount, meaning it's fair.
So again, if so, it's not fair for them to pay an equivalent amount.
The it depends what you mean. An equivalent amount, I mean by
Not
dollars.
not by percentage, by nominal level.
I'm saying yes. By nominal level, no, it is not fair. By
Okay,
percentage,
that
I'm
is
saying
not
it is
fair.
fair.
Okay, so to clarify, saying so do you agree that equal is not always what's considered fair?
What do you mean? I just want to
Can
like
you just agree
verify like
that
what you mean
equal
by
is
that.
not always considered fair?
I would say equal is fair.
Okay, so then paying an equal amount is fair?
Paying an equal percent amount would be fair.
No. Why do you keep changing what I'm saying? Paying an
Because you're trying to twist it on me by me
I'm
saying
not. I'm not.
equal is fair, and then you're going to say, "Oh my gosh, like not everyone can afford
Because
$10,000 a
yeah,
year."
so listen to what I'm saying. Equal is not always fair. Do you agree with that
Okay,
statement?
sure,
Okay, you agree with the statement that equal is not always fair. Okay.
sure.
So why are you arguing that equal is the only one that's fair in proportion in this scenario?
Okay, because like you said, not always, but in taxes, I think equal is always fair in taxes. Like when we talk about taxes,
So for
that's fair.
you think it's always fair to have a flat tax structure.
When we're talking about taxes, correct.
Okay. So your kid gets $5. You think that they should have to pay 30% of that $5 to the federal government?
Okay, so like we had said before, anybody making under $15,000 does not. So in that case,
That's
no,
not
my kid would
equal.
not. In that case, no, my kid would not.
Wait, you
That's
don't
the
believe in a
law.
flat tax structure then? Wait,
Argue with the law. I don't know what you're
pause right
saying.
now, pause right now. You don't. If you say that, that literally means you believe in a progressive tax structure.
Okay, then yes, I agree with that. What I'm telling you is that right now, if someone got $5, they would not pay taxes on it.
So by the way, he's
That's the
now
law. Look it
conceded
up.
to a progressive tax structure. So given that he's conceded to a progressive tax structure, why do you want this like weird version of a progressive tax structure that says only up to 15,000 you don't have to pay anything, and then it's the flat the
Okay,
same rate?
like
Like
I
that's
said, you're not
absurd to me.
understanding. That's what the federal law says now, right? Yes, if I could pick, I would say everybody, whether you make $1, right, you could pay 30 cents. I don't care. Or if you make 100
So by
million,
the way,
you
so
pay
by the way,
30%.
so
Go ahead.
you should pay the same tax rate as Disney the company.
Yes. Because what a dollar to me is worth
You
the
should
same
pay the
as
same
a
tax rate
billion
as
dollars
Elon
to them.
Musk.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Tax rate as in percent
You know,
wise.
crazy
What's
idea.
equal to
I
me
have
is
this
equal to
really
them.
radical idea. I have this really radical idea. They
Okay,
should
go ahead.
they should have to pay a greater percent than you
Why?
because you have a cost of living that takes up a greater proportion of your income.
Okay, so they worked hard for it, so let's punish them. You think that's
I mean, for example, like with Trump, he inherited $400 million from his dad, dude.
okay?
Did he work
Yeah,
hard for
because his
that?
dad. Okay, his dad worked hard, and so he was the beneficiary of it.
Okay, how about this? I'm successful. I work
That's
hard.
fine.
But that
Okay,
doesn't mean that I should pay the same tax rate as someone who's making $20,000 a year. That's
I
fucking
think.
absurd. Okay?
Okay,
The fact that you want to pay the same tax rate as people making at lower levels of income, right, in which they wouldn't be able to afford if they had to pay the same tax rate as you, is so fucking ridiculously
okay. So
absurd to
how
me.
could they not afford it? Because a dollar to me. All right. So someone who's making $10 a year, right, and me making 100, $1 to them is equal to $10 to me. Wouldn't you agree?
I guess you could say that,
Okay. So what is
depending
that
on
a
the
yes
levels of
or a
income. Sorry,
is that a yes or a no?
repeat the nominals of how much they have again.
Sure. Okay. So someone who's making $10, right? Me making $100, $1 of theirs is equal to $10 of mine.
I guess it depends on the person.
Well, no. Do
But
you
sure,
agree or
but
disagree?
I guess to the same person, $10 is 1/10 of 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would agree $1 to them is equal to $10 to me.
No. The reason why it understand it this way. I think you need to take it to higher levels of income to be able to understand it from a larger extent because I think you're not
Okay.
understanding it when it's this
I'll move
small of
it
a
up then.
distinction. So
That's fine.
at least understand it from this respect. Is right $100 right to someone who makes or actually no let's make it a lot larger. Say 1% of 100,000, is it going to be viewed as 1% of $10 the same? No, you're not going to view $1 comparative to 10 if you have ten
That's fine.
dollars
I'll
the
move it
same
up.
as you're going to view literally like $1,000 right for someone who makes $100,000.
That's fine. Well, let's move it up. Maybe this will help you. Someone who's making $10,000 and someone who's making $1 million. The person who's making $10,000, $1,000 of that is equal to the person who's making $1 million, 10,000. Wouldn't you agree?
No,
How
again,
do you not
because what you're
agree?
not considering is cost of living. The for the person specifically that makes 10,000, cost of living makes up practically all of their income. For the person who makes $1 million, cost of living makes up a very small portion of their income.
Okay, then I think I'll be honest. There's not much more I can say. This is your opinion, and you're just not really giving me like a good argument of why that's not what it is. I understand the whole cost of living, but fair is fair. So I'm giving you a reason why it is fair, and you're just nope, nope, nope. That doesn't make sense. I don't know like how that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because I just told you you're going to have a horrible structure because either you're going to have a too high tax rate for lower income individuals or you're going to have too low of a tax rate for the highest income individuals if you don't do a progressive tax structure in order to be able to fund the systems that we have right now. So either you're going to be advocating to cut massive policies, right, specifically, or you're going to advocate for a progressive tax structure, and which you already did to a certain extent because you quite literally said that there should be no tax on income up to 15,000, which would essentially be a progressive tax
Yeah.
structure because people who make under $15,000 they pay a lower effective tax rate than people who make above $15,000.
Okay. I will make that clear to you one more time. I said that people who make under 15,000, that's what it is in the law now. I don't agree, right, with that, but that's the law now. So your example made no sense
Oh my
because
God.
under 15,000,
You think people so again you think that people should be taxed? Okay, what do you think the tax rate should be? Give me an actual legitimate plan. If you think it should be just one percentage, give me what percentage you think it should be.
okay, so I don't work for the government. I don't do
I know
the
that you don't, but you're
Okay, yeah,
advocating for
so
policy right now. So what policy are you advocating for? What percent?
fair tax, which would be the same percent across the board. I
Yes.
can't give you a
What
certain
percent?
percent. I don't know how much the government needs.
Yeah, you
So
do. You can. Do you want me to tell you like the amount of trillions of dollars that the government needs on a yearly basis?
okay, Parker, how would that help?
I'm just asking you, is there any way that
Because
you
I
could
don't.
actually
Okay,
establish
ready?
a plan here?
Here's what you can do, and then I could give you an exact number. Give me a PDF of how much every single person in America makes, and I can tell you at what percent we should tax all of them.
Okay. So how about you just give me the brackets that you would want? It seems like you just
No,
want
no, no,
one
no. I need
bracket for
every no, no,
everybody.
no. No, I
You
need
don't need to.
every single person in the
This is
United
the most
States
ridiculous thing.
and
He
how
has
much
he
they
has
make.
one. How? Why would you need that if you only have one percentage?
Because I'm trying, because I would have to see. Example, let's
This
say
makes
that we
no
tax
fucking
all.
sense.
Okay, let's say we tax all of them
This could make
25%.
sense if you have different
That might
brackets,
not.
but it doesn't
Okay,
make sense if you just
you
specifically
don't
have one
understand
tax
it.
rate.
All right. So, example, let's say we tax everybody 15%. That might not be enough. Okay. So, we might have to move it up to 25%. I don't know what the exact number is, right? Like I said, I don't work for the federal government, but it should be fair across the board, not 12 here, 15 here, 35 here, 50% here. You think we should tax the rich 50%? That is insane. You know
Yeah.
that the rich are the people who are, Amazon. We talked about Elon Musk earlier, SpaceX, who rescued the astronauts out of the International Space Station. It's the rich people who need the money to be able to,
They need the
use the.
these rich people. They need the money so badly. Oh my god, they need the money more
Okay,
than the
how much
people
money do you
specifically who
think?
don't
All
have
right, how
access
much
to
money do you
basic
think?
amenities and
Right,
things they need.
how much money do you think Elon Musk has in his bank?
I don't know,
Yeah, you
and
don't know.
and
But
I
I can
don't
tell you it's
care.
not
He
four
should be
hundred
taxed
billion
at
dollars.
a very
99% of that is
obviously they're in
tied into
assets.
businesses. Yeah, so
Yeah,
they're
obviously.
assets. Look up
Thank you
how
for
much
telling me
Elon
that.
Musk
Thank you for
makes a
telling me. I
year.
had no fucking clue. I had no clue.
Okay,
Thank you
well,
for
there
telling
you
me
go. I
that.
just educated you.
No,
So
you
tell
didn't,
me how
dumbass.
much.
Obviously, I fucking knew that. Are you serious? Obviously, I
Okay,
knew that.
okay, how
Thank you for
much do the
telling us
rich?
something that we didn't fucking
You're
know. Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome, of course. So
Yeah,
how
thank you. I've
much?
never heard that one
Okay,
before.
all right. Let me know when you're done thanking me.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not done. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
go ahead.
Seriously, I wouldn't have known that without you. Seriously, I couldn't do it without you, man.
Okay, just a few more
Thank you.
seconds. Keep
Seriously, dude.
going.
Thank you so much.
Almost done. Keep going.
Thank you. Seriously, seriously.
All right,
I don't think I would have
perfect.
known that without you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so tell me how much the rich are making. Go to the richest person, I think is Elon Musk. How much is he making a year? Go ahead and look that up.
I don't know. I'm not going to look it up right now. I don't care. The point that I'm saying is that this certain level of income on a yearly basis, this is how it should be treated. And every single person specifically should be treated under that same basis. If you make this certain amount of income, you pay this.
Yeah, and like I said, I disagree with that
Yeah, but why?
because fair would be the
Technically,
same
everyone
percent.
is treated fairly. If you make this amount of income, you pay this.
That's not fair because why would the rich get paid? Why would the rich have to pay more?
Because they made more money.
Okay, so you're paid more money so that you have to pay more to the federal tax. I
Yes.
understand the dollar amount more. Yes, I totally agree with you. Percent wise, no.
Why not? If you're okay with the dollar amount being more, why not the percent?
Okay, so maybe you don't understand this, but if you tax someone 30% on $10 and you tax someone 30% on $1 billion, obviously it's going to be a different dollar amount. So if you can't
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
that,
So if
I'm not sure
no,
how I'm
no,
going
but
to debate
like,
with you.
if you are okay with taxing people different dollar amounts, why are you not okay with taxing people different percentage amounts?
Obviously, like I just told you, if you tax everybody percentage amounts, not everyone is going to pay the dollar amounts. You do understand people in the United States, and not everybody makes the same amount of money, right?
I
So, like,
understand,
I know that
but
you
why are
understand that.
you okay with taxing people different dollar amounts, but you're not okay with taxing them different percentage amounts? I'm waiting for like
No, I
the
am
highest
okay
levels
with
of
teach.
income.
Okay, I am okay with taxing them different percentage amounts, and so in doing that, that does tax them different dollar amounts.
You just
Because
kind
what is a
of
dollar?
I think you confuse yourself there.
No, no. Because what is $100 to me might be
So
two hundred
you are
dollars to
okay
you.
with them? You are okay with them taxing them different percentage amounts?
No, I just said we need to
You
tax them
just
the
said
same
that.
percentage amount. Okay, my fault. I misspoke. You know what I mean. We've been talking about the same thing for 30 minutes now. Okay, so you understand where my point is. You can try to nitpick the way that I'm talking, right? Like obviously you understand my point, and so does everybody else.
It's like
So,
you're not responding to my question though.
okay, what is your
Why?
question?
I'll say it again. I'm trying to put it as clearly as possible.
Go ahead.
Why are you okay? Why are you okay with them? With the people, more income you make, you have to do more on an amount that you pay to the government, but you're not okay with the more the money that you make, the greater percentage that you have to pay.
because I think by doing the percentage, that would be equal. And so by doing the dollar amount, that would not be equal. And so where I'm coming from
It
is
would. It
I
would.
want it fair.
Oh my God. If it's an equal amount that everyone has to pay into the government nominally, like equal dollar amount, that's equal. Someone could say to you, "Well, that's equal. That's equal." I'm asking you why. Okay. What if someone were to question you with that view? And they were to say, you know what? If we all want a government, I think we should all have to pay an equal dollar amount. That's what's fair.
Okay.
How would you
Sure.
respond?
Because what is equal to me might be different than what is equal to you, right? So
Yeah, but I'm
like I
asking you
said before,
how
okay,
you would respond.
I'm trying to explain. So my dollar might be worth your $10, right? And so if we give that percentage to the government, it affects us both the exact same amount.
So that would be different based on the subjective values of the individual. You couldn't make that type of determination. Secondly, what you have to take into consideration is that it is not viewed that because you're not proportionally taking into consideration the disposable income. So do you want to tax based on disposable income then?
No, I just said a fair tax. That's what I've
Yeah.
been
So
arguing
then
this
why don't you
entire time.
tax on disposable income if you're talking about how much it's going to be valued to that individual? Because if you're not taking into consideration the cost of living, then you can't take into consideration how much it would be valued to the individual because that's not the money that they have free to move around outside of the context of their cost of
Okay, how
living.
much do you think someone needs to live in the United States? Considering that we also,
That's an
like, okay, go
extremely
ahead. How
vague
much do you
question.
think?
Oh my god. That's
Okay,
an
how much do you
extremely
think?
that's an dude, that is an extremely vague. It depends on the area you're in.
On average, obviously, there's an average of how much people make a
I don't
year.
have the
So what's
ability
the
to
average?
estimate an average.
Okay, well then I don't like know what to tell you. You're talking about disposable income, right? Like, even if you can't give me what people need to make in the United States, how can I give you a disposable income?
How could you give me? No, you don't have to give me a disposable income. That's not what I asked you. But I said, would you tax based upon disposable income? Wouldn't that make the most sense based upon your view? Because you were saying it only makes sense to tax people same percentage rather than same amount because of the fact that it would be proportionally in value the same to the person. But what you're not taking into consideration in terms of the proportional value to the individual is the cost of living that the individual has. So if you were going to take into consideration what is valued by the individual, you'd have to consider disposable income, not specifically just income as a whole, right, comparative to the level of proportion of tax. You have to consider the cost of living. That's an obviously relevant fact.
Okay, and so I mean, like I said, it's hard to keep debating you because that is an opinionated. Like, no, I do not think that should be taken into consideration because what is worth $1 to me could be worth $10 to you, and so that would be what even is 30% across the board, or whatever the number is.
Wow, this conversation's impossible to have with you.
It is like I just said, it's impossible to debate with you about it
Evan,
because
I could
it's an
talk to other
opinion.
people about this. It's an issue with you.
No, no, it's
Paris,
not.
think of the
I mean,
galaxy. It is absolutely an issue with you.
I think you can't come up with a reason of why it is, and so I give you a point of why it's not impossible, and so you just keep saying the same thing over and over. I understand what you're saying. I
I'm
disagree
saying the
with it.
same thing
You're
over and
not going to
over. Yeah.
change my view over an argument that makes no sense. So
This does. You're just the one that has an issue with it.
no,
Okay? What I'm
I
saying
do not.
makes total sense. There's no issue with what I'm saying right now.
There's no issue with what I'm saying. So
There absolutely is. I've already described what the issues are.
okay, and
Okay?
I told you what the issue with yours was.
No, you didn't. You've repeated the same thing over and over again. All
Okay,
you've
I will. I
specifically
then
said
I will.
is that,
Ready?
oh, I think it's
Go ahead.
equal. So then I gave you a response to this. Okay, suppose that there's a person that has a view similar to yours, but says that you have to should pay the equal amount. Well, you said, oh, it's difference in terms of how you value it to as the individual. I brought up, okay, if you have that consideration, this is logically entailed given that consideration. And you said, oh, well, we just disagree. What? That we can't disagree upon that. That's logically entailed given the position.
Okay, so let's just say that we started with what I want tomorrow. How would we ever tell what someone needs to have to live? Because some people live in $1 million house and some live in $100,000 house. So how would we be able to tell what is disposable income and what is not?
You can judge that on average income if you want to do that. You can judge it
No,
on the average or
no.
median income if you want to do that.
Yeah, I disagree. Like, if everybody wants to live the same life they are now, you're saying everything else would be disposable.
No, what I'm saying specifically is that if you want to consider it based upon disposable, you can have a metric for what you consider that, and that would just be the consideration
Okay.
of standard
So what do you
deduction,
think
but
about
expanded.
that should be? So what do you think about that should be? Like just
I
a
don't
rough
I
estimate.
don't have this determination. I don't believe this. I don't believe it should be dependent upon that. I believe you should have a progressive tax structure, right? And I
Okay.
think you can tax people who make more income because we're taking that consideration, but you don't need to be so hyper specific about it.
Okay, then there's no reason to debate about that third, way we could do it because I don't agree with it and neither do you, right? So it's like that just there's no reason to debate about it. You don't even agree with it, right?
I
So
agree
why don't
for a
we debate about
progressive
what
tax
you
structure.
do
So,
agree on and what I agree
but you
on?
understand the reason why I'm getting you to do that is I'm trying to get you to question the particular reasons why you come to that conclusion in the first place. Because the same argument that you're making, if you reduce it down to its absolutist sense, can be saying that you want them to pay equal amounts to the government because they're fulfilling the same task for each individual. Right? But obviously, that's not a notion that's fair to you just because it's considered equal within that sense to that particular person. Obviously, your notion of fairness isn't predicated off of everyone specifically giving an equal amount to the government. Obviously, we can give different amounts to the government while simultaneously getting something equivalent from it.
Yeah, so I just disagree. I mean, I feel like if you were the top 1%, like you're talking about, taxing them 50%, you would be you would be very, very mad if 50% of your money went towards taxes. And so, question in that, let's just say that we did do that. Don't you think a lot of these people would stop living in the United States and they would go live somewhere else that does not tax them as much?
Hey,
And
I
so
live in
then we have this
California. I pay
huge,
higher tax rates. So this
that's
idea
fine.
that like oh, you wouldn't be okay with paying higher taxes if you had this. Yes, I am.
Well, I can't. I mean, there's nothing I can tell you like you live in California. But like I just said, don't you think these very rich and wealthy people who have they give a lot to the United States and not money wise. I'm trying to say like large businesses,
No, we give a
like we
lot
had
to
said,
them.
Elon Musk, Amazon, all that sort of stuff. Okay, yeah, because you buy from them. What if
Yeah,
they go live
society
somewhere? Okay,
society gives money to them. Yes.
okay, what? Yeah, you're correct because we buy their service. But
Yes. And they'll be fine either way. If we tax them at the highest levels of income that they make, they still have a certain number that they want to make
yeah, so I
anyway.
would say
And they're
we
trying to
need their
get to that number,
service.
so they still have an incentive to keep
Yeah.
working regardless.
All right, so let's use you for an example. You need their service more than they need you. Couldn't you agree?
No.
How? You think that you not buying Amazon, you not using Amazon is going to hurt Amazon?
Are you saying from an individual standpoint, or are you saying
Yes, from an
from
individual.
a
From an
consumer
individual.
versus producer standpoint?
From an individual.
I do think that the corporation would have more power than the specific one individual in the scenario, obviously. But I do think that, like, taking into consideration that we're referencing consumers as a whole versus the producers, right? I do think that consumers have more power in the scenario than the producers do, right? Just based upon the consumers and where they decide to place their money.
Okay, so don't you think that if we taxed Elon Musk, for an example, 50%, which he's not paying now, that he would not, like, he would move somewhere else where he's not paying
No,
50%?
no,
Why is that?
because he is not going to move to a different country because he specifically is going to have to pay 50% here. He wants to
There's
live in
actually
the
people who
U.S.
do that. People actually do
Okay,
move to Puerto
and
Rico because they end up paying
Puerto
less in
Rico is
tax.
within the U.S.
So
and Puerto Rico should either be given statehood or independence based upon their own based upon their own referendum determination.
I'm just saying people do move there to go and pay less
Yeah,
taxes.
and that's something that should not exist,
Well, it
right?
does
Because
exist. So
because
let's
it
talk
is
about what
it
does
is a part
exist.
of America. It's a part of the U.S. Right, and it should be treated as a part of the U.S. Right, if they specifically vote to be a part of the U.S. If not, they can get independence. I think that the fact that it's considered a U.S. territory is fucking absurd.
Okay, well, like that's like a whole separate argument. But right now, what would stop if all we did was change taxes? What would stop people from moving to Puerto Rico?
Again, given that I'm advocating for the system I'm advocating for, I want to get rid of these loopholes. Right, the idea that we don't have that we have these loopholes in place that allow for people to get out of the taxes is something I would like to prevent. And so you can't make this claim that, oh, there are loopholes right now, therefore you can't increase taxes. That's not an argument. I want to close the loopholes and increase the taxes for the richest
Okay, well
Americans.
that's fine. That is what you want to do. We don't even have to use then Puerto Rico. That was just an example I was giving. But what would stop somebody from moving over the border to Mexico, right? Because they wouldn't pay as I don't know what the Mexico tax is, but just another country that wouldn't pay as much. Why would they not move there? They could end up keeping most of their
Because
wealth.
their entire family's here, because everything that is they've built in this
Oh,
country
because they
is
can't.
here,
Oh,
because their
because you said
entire
they're the top
community
one
is here.
percent. They make $100 billion, and you don't think they can afford to move their family?
Oh, they can afford to do that now, but they choose to live here because of the fact that this is a part
Okay.
of the US and they want to live here. Yeah, what?
Here's a good example for you is cruise line
So
companies.
the
You
only
know that
argument
they okay, go
you
ahead.
could make is that maybe this could be true across state lines at certain proportion levels of income. Otherwise, why do people still live in LA? Why do people still live in New York? And why do more people want to live in those areas than in the red areas?
Okay, back to what I was. I'll answer that in give me 1 second. Like for here's an example: is cruise companies they end up registering their boats in Nassau because they end up paying less tax on it, rather than putting them here in the United States where they would pay more. They find the loophole, go around the system, right? So people already do that. What would stop more from doing it? Okay,
So
and I understand that you want to advocate for going against that, but as of right now, that's not an option. So
if I gave you research that indicated less than 1% leave, would you be okay with it?
So you're talking about less than 1% leave, but we're also talking about the 1%. So we're talking about the 1% of the
Yeah,
people
I'm
who are the
talking about
richest, and you're saying less
yeah,
than one. So yeah, so
yeah,
if a half a percent
you're
left,
not
that's
listening.
half a
You're not
percent of the richest
listening. Let
people.
me explain my position. Less than 1% of these individuals, of the richest Americans. I'm not saying less than 1% of the population. I'm saying less than 1% of the richest Americans, not even of the top 1%, of the richest Americans. Okay?
Okay, let's just say two companies did, two of the largest car companies, Chevy and Ford, right? Both of them leave totally out of the United States. Don't you think that would hurt us like huge? That's just two. Think about the hundreds that there are. Fortune
If
500,
the
right? There's
largest
500.
billionaires are going to leave the United States and leave the consumer market, you want to know what's crazy and what's going to happen? Someone else will get into that position. That's how the market works.
No, no, no. That's
That's literally how it
that's
works.
that's not always
How about you
not
go
always
take an
true.
economics course, please?
Not always. That's not always true.
How about you go study economics?
Okay, so you're saying if one business fails, somebody else is going to come up and take it.
Yes, if
Okay,
there's an
all
opening
right,
within the market,
fine.
if there's an open in demand and someone just leaves who was supplying things, someone else will go into that position. Yes, that's literally how the market works.
I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, yes, that's a big possibility, but I'm not gonna. No, I'm not putting my. No, like
Do you want me to
that's
explain it specifically?
sure if you'd
Okay.
like. Go ahead.
So let's say that there's a major producer specifically that has huge market share within a particular firm. Let's talk specifically Apple. Let's say Apple stopped producing phones completely, 100%. All Apple iPhones stop production. Is someone else going to jump into that position?
Yeah, Samsung would probably get bigger. I guess you're right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is someone else going to take that market share?
Probably.
Is that demand going to go somewhere? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. If they decide to leave, go for it. Do it.
Yeah, I would say that
I
does
don't give a
work in
shit.
some. I'd say that I agree with you. I would say in a good amount of scenarios that does work, but in some it doesn't. Back to Elon Musk, I'm just using him as an example. SpaceX. Let's just say that SpaceX moved out of, I believe they're in Texas, and moved somewhere else, right? How would who would take over, right? Where would the next person who's building these rockets and stuff come, right? Because a lot of people can't afford to build
So you're
rockets.
okay with Tesla paying $0 in taxes?
Whoa, I did not say that. I think Tesla should pay
That's what's
even
happening right now.
tax. Okay, like I said, I never said I agreed with that. I said I agree with fair tax. So you're like putting words in my mouth. Never did I say they shouldn't pay.
Okay. So I don't think that we can have a resolution to this conversation. I don't really see a benefit of continuing this conversation. I don't think you get anything closer to what you're advocating for with Trump. There's still going to be a progressive tax structure if Trump's in office. It's just going to be less progressive, and it's going to be him using tariffs. If you think that the tariffs are good because they are somewhat of a flat tax, which they're different based on
Yeah,
the different
I do
countries.
agree with tariffs, but yeah, go
Of
ahead.
course you do. Oh my God.
Yep.
Even though you have to pay more as a consumer.
Yeah. Well, it ends up putting more business here in the U.S., which ends up helping
It
our
doesn't.
economy.
What's happened to real domestic manufacturing investment?
What?
What happened to real domestic manufacturing investment every single quarter of Trump's administration so far? It's declined. So this
Okay.
idea that
So the whole
it's coming
point
back
is
to the
it
United
gets
States is
yeah.
not true at all.
All right, so the whole point is it gets worse than it gets better. We were talking about car
No argument for
manufacturing
that.
before.
No
Okay, well, here,
justification for that.
okay, so you just told me I didn't while I'm sitting here trying to explain it to you. Ford, for example, right? If the people are taxed on the stuff that is coming in from Mexico, Ford is now going to build their facilities where they build trucks here in the United States. That's going to put more money here in the United States, and that's also going to put more jobs here for people who live in the United States.
So as
So
soon
how
as
is that not
so
positive?
as soon as a tariff is put in place, people will shift their investment to developing it here in the U.S.
So like you said, immediately, no, but that's the whole goal of it.
No, like you said, if the tariff is in place, that it will shift the investment to this country, correct?
Over time, yes.
Okay, why have we seen declines in investment then?
Okay, because it has not been like it is such a short time.
How long do we
Like
need
I
to
said,
wait?
not immediately.
When is investment going to increase? Because you would expect investment to increase, and then maybe that would increase productive capacity in the long run. But if investment doesn't increase, and it's been over a year at this point, that tells you that the tariffs aren't really working.
Okay,
Also,
so let's
they've
just say
been
back
deemed
to
to be unconstitutional,
okay.
and the tariffs that Trump has tried to put in place on top of that are only going to be in place for a short period of time now.
Sure. Okay, so back to uh like what I was talking about Ford, right? You think that Ford can build a plant here to create trucks in a year, less than a year? I mean,
Hey, can I thank some people, and then we can go back to the conversation?
sure.
Okay, for sure. I do have some people to thank because it's been an hour. We've been having a conversation, and I haven't caught up with people. I just need to catch up real quick. Steve, thank you so much for the dollar. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. That is a good question to ask. I will ask that. Jody as well. Thank you for the $10 or for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That is a good point. That is a very good point. Bella, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's ridiculous that he advocates you to pay the same tax rate, of course. Antonio, thank you for the $4. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I know, right? It's really ridiculous. Mike, thank you so much for the dollar. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know, right? It's kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous. Thank you. Give some W's for them in the comment section. Nicholas, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It definitely needs it more proportionally. That's also a true point. Jessica, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $20. Thank you very much on PayPal. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it, Jessica. Thank you very much. As well as Amy, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I always will. Thank you so much. And Christopher with the $100 on PayPal. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is so kind, Christopher. Thank you for the $100 on PayPal. Seriously, that is so nice. As well as Linda, thank you for the $50 on Venmo for the happy late birthday. Thank you so much, Linda. Can we get some W's for Linda in the comment section as well? Thank you so much, Linda. I really appreciate it. Seriously, W's for Linda in the comment section. Let me thank some people over on YouTube as well. So if you want to support me as always, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio as well as the description of the YouTube. As well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. We have at least another hour or so left on the stream, everybody. Just letting y'all know. I'm the Beard. Thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some W's for them in the comment section? No, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I would say. It definitely is equal accordance with with everything I was bringing up earlier. But as well as Josh, thank you so much for the $15. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some W's for them in the comment section right now? Thank you. Thank you. Is that the last person you were talking about, Josh? I'm assuming. As well as Mega, thank you so much for the $5 or for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yep, it's really absurd, isn't it? Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Gnarly, thank you for the $2. Marianne, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. Jake with the dollar, thank you very much. CW, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Too bad, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Hydrogen, thank you so much for the $10. GIZ, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know, right? As well as Megaroni, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Sean, thank you for the £5. Thank you very much. Too bad, thank you for the $2. GIZ, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Megaroni, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you very much. I think I am fully caught up. If I missed your donation, I do really apologize. Just wanted to catch up real quick. We can continue on the conversation. All right, go back to the point you're making. We'll probably make like a few more points, and then I'll probably move on to the next person.
No worries. Yeah, W donators. That's big. But yeah. So like I was saying, was we were talking about how the tariffs are not immediate, and so yeah, like I don't think that was ever a thought by anybody that they would be immediate because it takes some time for them to move the companies here. But when they do come here at a certain point, there will be more employees, right? And so that gives more American people jobs instead of giving the people who live in Mexico jobs, right? It gives American citizens jobs.
Okay, but the tariffs haven't done that. We've actually seen the worst year of job growth in the past 4 years. You saw real domestic manufacturing investment decline every single quarter of Trump's administration. So it's not led to those better conditions. What's the positive impact been?
Like I
Because
just said, it is not a immediate
you're saying
whatever.
it's gonna happen. It's not been immediate. It's been over a year.
Okay, a year in the grand scheme, a year is not a lot of time. You and me both
That's
know that.
25% of Trump's administration.
Okay, so a year is, like I said, I'll stick to a year is not that much time in the grand scheme. I understand a year, right? Like it's a lot of time for some people, but you and me both know a year is not uh it's not going to change anything huge. But yeah, so I think in the future that will end up positiving. It'll be positive towards the U.S.
You have no argument, no justification for this, no evidence for this. The only way that you'd be able to say that there's evidence for this is that investment was increasing, which would then lead to productivity or
Okay.
increase in jobs, which we have seen nothing about.
All right. What evidence should I give of something that is going to happen in the future?
What's up?
What evidence should I give of something that is going to happen in the future?
Any
How would I do
evidence
that?
that like tariffs have led to these conditions in the past? Any evidence that like it's actually leading to better conditions
Okay.
so far? Obviously, if something doesn't happen in over a year, you should question that yourself. The fact that you don't question that kind of just tells me that you're kind of a sheep, dude.
Like I just said, it's something that's going to happen in the future, so there's not really a way for me to give evidence. But think about other countries who also tariff, right? China tariffs us whenever we bring goods there.
Okay, that doesn't justify us placing the tariffs, and also we already had targeted tariffs on China. Okay, these are universalized tariffs placed on countries all around the world, including our allies.
So you think that someone should be, and I understand, like, I'm breaking down part of what you were saying. You don't think that we should be able to tariff people who are tariffing us?
No, because when they tariff us, that means that their consumers are paying it.
Yeah, but to sell
And also,
there,
if
we
you
have
want to
to
do
raise the price.
reciprocal tariffs to bring down their tariffs, go for it. But Trump imposed tariffs on countries that he even did that with, where they reduced tariffs through, for example, the USMCA. Like he increased tariffs on Canada and Mexico, even though through the USMCA they did that reciprocal tariff thing to reduce it.
Okay, so do you think we're talking about China? Do you think that we should put tariffs on them because they put tariffs on us?
Think of the
So
galaxy, think of Candace.
our businesses have to raise the price to be able to afford the tariff of what it costs to get it into their country. And so I believe we should be able to do the same thing. You agree or disagree?
You mean reduce the price to be able to get into the country?
Well, no, tariff, it would mean that the person who is selling the item would have to pay whatever. I understand it would have they're
No.
going to up the price, make the consumer pay
So
for it,
when we place a
but
tariff on their countries, who pays that tariff?
the consumer.
Okay, in our country, right?
Oh, in our country, yeah, it would be us. All right, so when someone
So
yeah, so the United States
it's
has a tariff.
directly. Let me just explain. It's
Go
directly
ahead.
paid by the American business importing the product, and then it's mostly passed on to the consumer.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Was
Why do
they
you
have to
want that?
raise the price because they tariff us.
You mean that they would have to decrease the price to be able to still compete with the market, even though the tariff's been in place?
I feel like you're confusing yourself.
I'm not. I have an economics degree. I know what I'm talking about. I think you're the one that's confused here.
Woo! Economics degree. Whew.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about here.
That's pretty awesome. I have a high school diploma.
Good for you.
Thank you. So yeah, so back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think it will move businesses here, and I understand that the consumer has to pay the price of the tariff, but in future years, it would end up moving more here, giving the United States more money in the economy and more jobs for the American people.
Okay. So you said there'll be more jobs. When is this going to start?
When is this going to start? Can't give you an exact time frame, but obviously,
Sometime under Trump's admin?
hopefully that would be great.
Okay, hopefully. But if it doesn't, you'd still support him?
I would say that would depend. I see the point of why you're saying that, but I can't necessarily say in the next
If
three or
Trump was
whatever.
worse for the economy, would you stop supporting him?
Um, Not necessarily. I agree with a lot of other stuff that he's doing.
Said Jazz?
I would say our borders.
Okay,
I would
how is
say
he?
giving the abortion laws of the states.
Okay, so you think human rights should be left up to the states?
Human rights. I disagree that is human rights, and I think that we should
Really?
not be killed. Well, I think that
So
we
you
should not be
don't think
killing babies.
so you
I
don't
think
think
that
abortion's murder.
no, I think abortion is murder.
So you're okay with the right to life being left up to the states?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're okay with fundamental human rights, such as the right to
Okay,
life,
so
being
I
left up to the
disagree.
states.
Okay, so
So
I
you think
disagree
murder
with.
should be left up to
Okay.
the states?
Okay. Well, so you're saying that you think that murder should be left up to the federal government. So my personal belief
Yes.
is I
It should
disagree.
be
Okay.
illegal federally.
Okay. I disagree with with abortions. Like 99% of the time, I disagree with them. That's my personal belief. But by supporting Trump, the belief that I am debating you about is going to be giving it to the states.
Yeah, so you want to leave human rights up to the states, right?
Sure.
Okay. I have a question.
Sure.
Would you be willing to leave all human rights up to the states?
But we're talking about abortion, and that's a you know an argument on Trump's behalf, right? Like
Yeah.
you're saying, what do I agree that Trump is doing? And so that is one of
So
the.
I'm just asking, would you be willing to leave all human rights up to the states?
No, I think we should still have a federal government, and they should still have laws. I'm just saying, abortion, for example, should be given to the states.
Yeah, I understand. But so should all of the so all should all human rights be left up to the states, or should it only just be some?
Well, we're talking about abortion, so I'm going to go with just abortion. That's the argument. I
So
mean,
so ju- so
that's
so
the
just
conversation that we're having right now.
Why just abortion, but not others?
I think that we still need because I think that obviously murder should be illegal everywhere, right? But it's a whole back and forth of is abortion murder, and so I mean we don't have to have that that conversation. I 100% think it is. I know you do not, but so that would depict of where you live, right? So if you don't think it is, you could live in a blue state, and me who thinking it's bad and whatever, I could live in a red state, and we could all kind of agree to disagree, but it works for all of us. But by living somewhere
It
where it's
doesn't work for all
either
of us. How about
okay.
this? If you want an abortion, get an abortion. If you don't want an abortion, don't get an abortion. It works for all of us.
No, but I think standing, no, but like I'm giving, instead of saying I think we should just outlaw abortion, which I honestly think abortion is horrible and I think whatever. But like you said, what do I think that Trump is doing that is good? I will say that him pushing it to just the states is a good start to my beliefs.
Okay, but you're not responding to this. If you want to leave it up, if you said that it's more representative of you, right? If of like say Republicans and Democrats, if you leave it up to the states, well, it's more representative of the individual. If you leave it up to the person.
No, like I said, I don't agree that it should be a thing, right? And so we're kind of
So
split.
then you think it should be federally illegal?
I think it should be up to the states whether it's legal or not.
So do you think murder in general should be up to the states?
Murder in general, like example is give me an example because I think that abortion is murder,
Yeah.
right? But
So
you obviously do not.
would
So
you be, would
let's
you
use a
be okay with
different name other
murder
than the
being
word
left up
murder.
to the states?
Murder as in killing somebody who is doing nothing to you,
Yeah,
like just
unjust unaliving of a
like by
person.
by me killing
Do you
you.
think the
Yes, I
unjust
think
unaliving of a person should be left up to the states?
I think that should be federally illegal. It should be illegal
Okay.
everywhere.
So if it should be federally illegal, then you think abortion should be federally illegal, right?
So like I said, my personal beliefs is you should not be able to get an abortion anywhere. But because we are debating about Trump, I would say that the states is a very good start.
Okay, so you think that leaving it up to the states is preferable because it restricts access to abortion.
Yes.
So you think less abortions will occur, correct?
Not necessarily, honestly, because they'll probably move somewhere else. But like I said, that is a good start. I would
So then
rather
what does
that
it
than
do?
nothing.
If
I
it
said
doesn't
I would.
if it doesn't
Okay.
reduce access to abortion or reduce the amount of abortions,
Okay.
then
Well, see, we're arguing your thing is you want to debate about Trump, right? So I'm debating about Trump. Like I said, my personal belief
if
is that
leaving
we
it up
shouldn't
to
have
the states,
abortions at
wait,
all.
wait, wait. If leaving it up to the states led to an increase in the amount of abortions that occurred, would you still support it?
If it did change the amount,
Yeah, if it increased the
yes.
if it led to an so it even if leaving abortion rights up to the states led to more abortions, you'd still support it?
No, I want less abortions, obviously.
So if leaving abortion rights up to the states led to more abortions, would you stop supporting it?
If it led to more, I would stop supporting it because
Okay,
my
it
goal is
has.
less.
So more abortions have occurred since the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Given that you've
Okay.
now acknowledged that since right, there would be if there were more abortions that occurred or after the overturning of Roe versus Wade, then you wouldn't support the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Now you don't support overturning Roe versus Wade.
No, so no, you can't tell me what I do and do not believe. So no,
That's based
that
upon
could
what you
be
said.
okay. So that could be there's so things like that, right? There could just be less people who want abortions, and that could be why, right? It doesn't
What?
necessarily. There could be less people who want abortions now, less people who are having children, whatever, and that's the reason why there are less. It doesn't mean because Roe versus Wade was over.
Wait, let me clarify. The point that you agreed to was if the overturning of Roe versus Wade led to more abortions occurring, you then would not support the overturning of Roe versus Wade, correct?
I'll be honest. The way you're saying it is confusing. My what I want is less. Honestly, if I'm not going to debate about Trump versus Kamala, Trump, whatever, I would say I want zero abortions. I think aborting the baby is a murder.
So let me just clarify. If leaving abortion rights up to the states led to more abortions occurring, would you not support leaving abortion rights up to the states?
So you're I'm not gonna. All right, so I'm not gonna answer that, and let me tell you why. Before you start laughing and thinking that you got your gotcha moment. So
Okay.
no, I don't. So I want what is least, but I do not think that overturning Roe versus Wade or not is what makes abortions more or less. I don't think that has anything to do with it, right? Because how would them saying, let's give it to the states, if some states say yes and some say no, how would that make it more? It would be equal, right? It would be the people who are in a red state. Let's go to the blue state and get an abortion. That would not make it more. That would just make it equal, or honestly, a little bit less, because some people are not going to drive across state lines to go and get an abortion. So that number that you're saying has nothing to do with the overturning or not. That just has to do with people
Do you think it
either
could
want
also
more or
cause
less
more
amount.
people to get abortions because they might decide to travel to a greater extent more because they feel like that access might be restricted to them if they don't do it earlier?
No, I don't think that more people would because it's given to the states. No.
Because to me, it sounds like that could also be a factor. Is that more people might decide to get an abortion because of the fact that they feel like that right might be restricted later in terms of the aspects of the pregnancy. And I do
I
think
think
that that's also a factor that you could take into consideration. So yeah, I definitely do think that restricting abortions access to the states could actually lead to more abortions. Actually, we have seen it lead to more abortions. Now, this is a an interesting argument, though. The argument is interesting because you have to then say you would still support the overturning of Roe versus Wade or leaving abortion rights up to the states, even if it led to more abortions occurring, which to me seems obviously ridiculous. And to anyone listening to the stream, also seems obviously ridiculous. But if you're making this argument, you have to concede to it that you think that you would still support it, even if it led to more abortions occurring, because literally, if we look at the data, more abortions did occur. It did lead to more abortions occurring.
okay. That's the same logic as saying that gas prices, and we're not talking about the war itself, because I understand they skyrocketed then, but gas prices were way cheaper under, you know, Nixon's than they were under Trump's. That has nothing to do with anything, right? As time goes on, things change. I think that's the exact same thing as that. I don't think it
So
had
so
anything
wait.
to do
So
with
you
the
think the
wall.
population difference was that different?
No, I'm not saying the population, right?
That's what
But
the
the
argument
thought.
is. We're
No,
talking about
it's
the difference between a year. We're not talking about the difference between 10 years. Population difference is a lot over 10 years. We're talking about the difference in a year. Like I would have expected these numbers to go down, right?
I mean, like I said, I don't think. I think that's also. Here's another example. Let's make someone saying, "Let's make drug." Like, you know how drugs are illegal. That's like saying people do it more because it's illegal. People do not go and get more abortions because it's illegal, right? That just doesn't make any sense. That's it.
Wait, no,
That
it's
has
because
that
it
has
was
nothing to
left
do
up to
with
the
it.
states. It's totally reasonable to believe that if it's left up to the states and people feel like in the state in which they are residing in right now, they will have more of a restricted access to abortion, or that pregnancy would be more risky because they wouldn't be able to get access to an abortion later on
Okay,
if they medically needed it, then I definitely do think that could increase the likelihood that someone would go to a different state and get access to an abortion. I think that is totally reasonable. That is totally reasonable. And if you think that's not reasonable, I think that you just have cognitive dissonance.
okay. So, like I said, and I think I think that is a good start. Like I've said many of times, my real thought is that we should get rid of abortion totally. I think it's murder. I don't think we should have it at all. But my thought was
Yeah,
that
but
would
like,
be a
so
good
again,
start.
if
So,
your whole goal is to reduce the amount of abortion that
no,
happens,
my goal is for none. I don't want to just reduce. I want
oh,
none.
oh, if your goal is none, you don't just want to reduce, then you don't support Donald Trump's abortion policy because it does not go to none. It would
Yeah. So
just reduce it under your
you
view.
didn't get your okay. Well, you haven't gotten your gotcha quite yet, and let me tell you
Yeah, I
why.
did. I just got it, and you didn't
Because
even realize.
because because like I said, we are debating about Trump versus your opinion, right? So my
So,
side is
do you
Trump. So
support Donald Trump's abortion policy?
I am arguing that Trump's is
I
better than
understand.
yours.
Do you support Donald Trump's abortion policy?
Like I said, I would say somewhat because I think that it is more headed towards my real opinion and
So
the
it's
other
going to reduce
opposing.
it. So it's going to
Who else
reduce.
could
So,
I? All right,
so
who
your
else could
goal
I
here
vote
is to
for? It would have
reduce
been
it.
Kamala, right? And I don't think that Kamala's was do not get rid of it. Okay, I
Okay,
think
so
that
you
that
support Trump because you wanted to reduce the amount of abortions that occurred, correct?
I wanted to give it to the states.
Which you thought would reduce the amount of abortions that occurred, correct?
That would be a good guess, but my real thing is that I want nothing. So
Yeah, if you want no abortions to occur, that's not what you get with Trump's position.
okay,
So
logically think
if that's so,
logically.
if you think it's disqualifying to support any level of abortion access, well then you disagree with Trump, and it's
Okay,
disqualifying to
well,
support Trump.
all right. Well, that is good information that you have given me.
It is.
So all right. So maybe you changed my mind about. I don't really diss, but my that maybe abortion is. I know like I had said a list. Maybe that is not quite towards the top of my list. But if we're still talking about abortion, like I've said,
Okay.
I do I do think that we shouldn't have abortion at all. Okay, but that doesn't change if we
Wait,
had the
if it's not near the
election.
top
I
of
would
your
vote
list,
for
I don't
Trump.
know. I don't know why you would. Okay, that just makes no sense given that you
No, I
would
said
actually.
Trump's. I had said a list. You said, what is there things that I like about Trump?
Yeah,
That
is
was
your
one of the
goal
things I
in
said.
supporting Trump based upon his abortion policy to reduce the amount of abortions that are occurring, or is it to completely 100% get rid of them?
My goal is to 100% get rid of them, which no candidate said
You're
they
not
were going to
listening.
do.
But in supporting Trump, is your goal in supporting Trump's abortion policy to reduce the amount of abortions that happen, or to completely 100% get rid of the abortions that happen?
My goal is for them to completely get rid of, but I do understand that is not
Not
what.
with you're obviously with your goal with supporting Trump is that you do is you that you do want to reduce it. It's not that you specifically thought it was going to completely get rid of it because you acknowledge that Donald Trump's abortion policy doesn't completely get rid of it. You've already acknowledged that.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I still don't agree with that overturning or whatever is what led to more. Or, whatever. I just think that there are more now than there was before. Look in society, there's a lot more people talking about it than there was, um, before. So I think that is the reason why. I understand that your numbers say one thing. That is why I believe that those numbers are that way. But I mean, there's not really like that's like an opinion, right? Like that's my opinion of why that is. And so you can have an opinion of why it's not, but we can't really come to a conclusion of why that is, right? It's an opinion for both of us, I think. But my actual opinion is zero abortion. I think it's wrong in almost every sense.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the question one more time. If you can't answer it, I'm just going to go on to the next person. This is actually insane at this point. Is your goal in supporting Donald Trump's abortion policy to completely get rid of it or just to reduce it?
Completely get rid of it.
That's clearly not your goal. Do you think Trump will completely get rid of abortion access?
No. Okay, now I understand. I understand. Yeah, so within Donald Trump would be to limit it and make it less because I do see what you're saying.
There we go.
Trump is not going to totally abolish it. We all know that, right? That was not something he said he's going to do. He said that he would give it to the states, and in that, I am believing that giving it to the states is going to make it less.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So the reason why you support Donald Trump's abortion policy is because you want to reduce the amount of abortions that occur,
Reduce
correct?
access. Yeah, reduce access to abortions.
Okay, reduce the amount of abortions or just reduce access.
Reduce the yeah.
So would you, if you increased access but it led to less abortions, would you support that?
So I think that there should be less access, and
If
in my
no,
guess,
let me ask this
less
question.
access would be let good.
If you increased access to abortion but it led to less abortions happening, would you support that?
No,
What?
I want less act because in what world would that happen? What do you mean
Wait, no,
like you're
no,
going
no,
to
no,
give
no, no, no.
more?
You can't question if it would happen. I'm saying if this was the case, would you? Which would you support?
Whatever gives less access. So I guess in this situation it would be what you just said.
So you would support the less access to abortion with more abortions that occur over the more access to abortion but less abortions occur. You'd prefer that more people die.
So you think no, like I just said, I want less, right? I want less
Do
access
you
and
want more
less.
people to die or do you
You're
want less people to
you
die?
obviously less people. You're coming up with these scenarios. I don't agree. I don't
So
agree
if you
with
want
that. No, I don't agree with either of the. You
so
shouldn't give me
obviously,
two
wait, if you want
choices.
less people to die, the obvious answer to the question is that you want more access to abortion with less people that would die and less abortions that occur
Okay, it's
comparative
because
to the position where there would be less access
you're giving
but
me two options,
more people die.
and okay, so you're giving me two options, and so neither options are the ones that I agree with. What I agree with
I
is
understand.
less access, less abortions. So don't try to give me two options that you know I don't agree with because you know I don't agree with any of them. So by me answering you, right, you're gonna get your gotcha moment, which like you're not gonna have because I agree with what I agree. Like that's I just think what I think. Good.
Okay, but I'm asking you, like, because when we're talking about politics, we're talking about you can consider that you won't 100% agree with the policy, but you're looking for what's going to lead to the better outcomes. And I'm essentially just trying to see, do you care more about the outcome or do you care more about the access? Because I think the whole idea of caring about the access in of itself is to reduce the amount of times it happens.
Yeah,
If
so I
you
care about
don't
both of
reduce
them.
the if you don't reduce the amount of times it happens by imposing this, why would you support it? Like that's
So
kind of
I
like my
agree.
point.
So I believe that the access and the number of that happens are equal to me. I think that I want the access to be down and I want the number to be down. And so you give me options is not like your two options, you know I don't agree with either of them fully. So like why would you give them to me?
Okay. What's the point of reducing access to abortion if you or yeah, what's the point of reducing access to abortion? We'll just ask that.
So the it would be to lower the amount of people who are getting an abortion.
So to reduce the amount of abortions that occur.
Yes, those are the two things I want. I want, well, really, I want no abortions, right? But since we are arguing about Trump, it would be less abortions and less access.
Okay, so the reason why you care about reducing access to abortion is because you want to reduce the amount of abortions that occur. So if we were to suppose of a hypothetical scenario that if you were to reduce access, that it led to more abortions happening, you would disagree with that because your inevitable care for reducing access to abortion was to reduce the amount of abortions to occur, correct?
Like I said, you're giving me two options, and I don't agree with either of them. So,
Yeah, but like you would say that's true
okay,
within politics. Like
this will be
politics,
this will be a
you
little
don't
bit
agree with
easier.
100% with both sides. You
Yeah.
are thinking about which
So you
side's the
pick the one
best.
that you
Yeah,
exactly, and
that's
so
kind of what
that's
we're
kind
doing
of
here.
so in just abortions, that's kind of what I'm doing. Right? Is I agree that we should have none, right? On one side, we have Trump that says let's limit access, and make it less. And then on the other side, we have no, you should be able to get it, like, whenever you want. It's not like no one should be able to tell you that you can or cannot do with your body, whatever. So I agree. So what is closer to my belief would be limiting access, right? Like, wouldn't you agree? Closer to my belief would be that. So that's what I went with.
Okay. And essentially, what I was trying to tell you is that if there's a scenario where if you reduce access, but it leads to more abortions happening, would you still support reducing access in that way? Because to me, it seems like the whole basis of caring about reducing access was to reduce the amount of abortions that occur. So if reducing access in a certain way leads to more abortions, you clearly wouldn't support that because it violates the very goal of supporting reducing access in the first
No,
place.
I only agree with lowering access that also lowers the total number of abortions.
Okay.
And so
So
when voting
so
for,
it's
sorry, go ahead.
so are you saying it's both of those being true?
So both of those being, so if there was less, then I do support. Um,
But you don't support it if it doesn't reduce the amount of abortions.
yes, but when I went to vote
There you
for
go.
Trump,
Wait.
and so look, listen. When I went to vote for Trump, right? I all I know is he's going to give it to the states. So right, so look at it from a way that I agree this, but he's the closest. So I didn't know what it was going to do, and I do see what you're saying. I disagree with the reason of the numbers, but no, like that's I think we shouldn't have any at all. And Trump's idea was closer than Kamala's was. So
Okay.
that's why I agree, about his abortion policy.
So
Well, that's why,
you actually disagree with his abortion policy, and let me explain why. You disagree with his abortion policy because it did not reduce the amount of abortions that happened.
okay, so I will. Let me tell you why I also disagree with the other sides. Right, theirs doesn't help me. That's not close to what I agree with, and neither is Trump's. So yes, maybe you're saying I don't agree with Trump's, but I also don't agree with the other side. So
Okay, so
that's not.
you're saying you agree more with Trump's, even though Trump's led to more abortions occurring. So your whole disqualifying point for Democrats, the reason why you can't support Democrats is because their policies lead to more abortions happening, right?
No, I can't agree with Democrats because they want total access to abortion. And so I want to limit the access so much
Okay. All
that
right.
it's to none. And
I'm just I can't do this conversation anymore. Have a good day.
all right, you
That was absurd. I just like the amount of detail I have to go into in order to explain basic concepts to him every single time is unbelievable. I had to go into so much detail every time, and he still didn't understand. Like that was such an obvious answer. Like obvious, you can obviously respond to. Oh, dude, it's so annoying. It's like it almost feels like they're purposefully trying not to understand, you know? Markella, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $15. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Said no access to abortions kills more women. How's that pro life? True. True. That is also very true. If it's not saving lives, then it's leading to more women dying. Like I just don't understand how he argues for it. Mike, thank you for the dollar. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yep. Well, I'm here doing that myself on the inside. So I get you there. Elizabeth as well. Thank you for the $5. Or for the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Alter, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I know, right? All the elevators in the chat are tracking 100% more. Hey, what's up, bro?
Hello, how you doing?
Just spent some time in hell. How you doing,
Hey, how's
man?
it going?
Yeah, I was listening.
How old are you?
19?
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2007?
And what month?
February.
And do you support Trump? Hello? Do you support Trump?
Hello? Sorry about that. Yes, I do.
Is there a way you can turn off the fan? Oh, I think
Oh,
you
my
did.
bad. Give me
Oh,
1 second, my bad.
or just get out of the way of the fan. Alrighty. Why do you support Trump?
Um, I just like a lot of his immigration policies, and uh, I mainly want to talk about like how most of the celebrities shouldn't be like opening their mouths on like example Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala. Like, just make music up.
Okay. Um, why do
I'm
you
just
care to talk
kidding.
about that?
You and Dean are really hot, and I love you guys.
Okay, they're trolling. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria. List in the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria. List in the TikTok screen, everybody. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen, everybody. Alrighty, do give it a quick second, everyone. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates. Alrighty. Let's get this next person up here. I still don't think I've got a response on that appeal that I sent. It's so frustrating.
Rough.
I get the integrity and authenticity ones every day,
I know.
bro.
I know.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
How you doing, Parker?
And how old are you?
So, I'm 26. You know, this is
Do you support Trump?
America making. Oh yes, we're making America great again. We're going to.
I feel like they're trolling me. Let's just go to the next individual. You know, I've just had some of the most insufferable guests today, chat. It's been really bad.
Saturdays be like that.
Yeah, like did you see me with TPA earlier? Like I tried to
Yeah.
debate him and he literally like would not talk to me.
Yeah, I know.
That was like so annoying.
Oh my
Only
god.
do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, have you and Dean ever did 69?
Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. Only do send a guest request if you meet
Dude,
that
TPA
criteria.
fried you, bro.
Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. That was Fish Girl. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen, everybody. Elliot, thank you so much for the hand art. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm here. I didn't see.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Probably Donald Trump.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because that's all you and Dean ever talk about. Y'all don't talk about anything other than Trump. And did you know that Dean's racist and he said the N-word?
I don't think that makes him racist because he has obviously advocated against these things, acknowledged his
Uh,
behavior, changed his behavior, educated himself, and tried to educate other people against those things. I do think that you can change against those things over time. Do you think that Donald Trump is racist?
no, because he's never said the N-word like Dean did.
He actually has. And also, not even considering that, he's also not rented to black people because they're black.
Can you
In
show
the
me proof that he
1970s,
said that, please?
yeah, this was specifically said by people that were on The Apprentice with him.
But can
That
you show me proof of that?
do you
Because
do
we
you
all have proof of Dean saying the N-word, yes. There are screenshots.
So do you accept that people specifically who were on The Apprentice claims that they specifically said that Donald Trump said this when they were on The Apprentice?
I mean,
You did just get a flag for harassment and bullying, so I
That
do
was
have to go
quick.
on to the next person anyway. That was pretty quick anyway. But like, dude, why do they try to argue that? It's every single Trump supporter that doesn't give a shit about Trump's racism at all tries to argue that. Like, why do they do that?
Mm-hmm.
It just makes them not look smart.
Matt,
You
I
know
got
what
a
I mean?
library card. I got a library card.
W.
Good for you.
W.
Should go read about some fish.
Yes, there's plenty of books on fish biology.
Yeah.
Go read about some fish. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Really? Yeah, what's up? How old are you? Alrighty. Let's go on to the next individual here. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat, as always. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Oh, Jaden, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you very much. I know, he's absolutely absurd to deal with, right? Absolutely absurd. Hey, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. We are just looking for some debates. Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen, everybody. Alrighty. I think it's really hard to get some debates up today. Isn't it a little bit brutal?
It is.
It's either the most insufferable person that I've talked to ever or no one. You know what I mean? Like, there's no in between today.
Yeah.
Why do you support Trump?
How old are you?
I'm 33.
Do you support Trump?
No.
No? Okay. Someone said, people just don't like you, Parker. You know what? That's so true. It's because people don't like me. You know, I think it's actually partially part of it is because people don't like me enough. I bet if people didn't like me more, I would get more guest requests. I actually bet. I bet if I was more hated, I would get more guest requests. I actually would put money on that. Alrighty. Let's try to get this next person up here. Smart people like Parker, quite frankly. That's very true. That's very true, I tell you, actually. Smart people very much like me. That's what it is. Yo, how old are you? Hello? Okay, let's go on to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen.
Have you found it hard to like find people lately because of like it's just so hard to like back up what Trump has been doing lately?
I don't think that's the issue with getting people on the live. I actually think the issue, because he's already been indefensible, you know? I think the issue is just that I think that people are less likely to want to come up on the streams because I think part of what that is that there could be less people that are coming up on the stream right now because they feel like what's being said is indefensible, yet they still do hold support for him. They're just less likely to go on the stream.
They're like holding out for hope that it gets better because they can't defend it right now, but they're hoping that in a month it gets better.
Yeah, like once Trump ends the war with Iran, you know, they'll be back like never before. You know what I mean? Like they'll be willing to speak about it. I think they exist. There's still a lot of Trump supporters. You know, just at different points in time, they'll be more willing or less willing to have a conversation. There's also a lot of Trump supporters that are just unwilling to come up on a platform like this.
He is losing some though. Like
he is losing.
Polling out that even amongst MAGA and Republicans, he is losing actual support.
That is very true.
That's a positive sign. So
very true. Yo, how old are you?
22.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Election held today. Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
In this sense, I would probably vote for Kamala, even though I support Trump.
That makes no sense. Alrighty. Francesca, thank you so much. Really appreciate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you for the $5. Thank you. Yeah, the indefensible has been crazy tonight. It's been brutal. Alrighty, let's try to get this next person up here, everybody. We are struggling.
Stop grifting! Stop grifting! Stop grifting! Stop.
Why do you
grifting.
keep doing this?
Stop talking about my fish. Can you? If you stop talking.
No.
Excuse you.
How about this? How about this? Can we make a truce? I'll stop talking about your fish if you stop trolling on the stream.
I don't troll on your stream.
You are trolling. I know you're
You're
trolling.
a grifter. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I know you're trolling. Stop it.
You're a grifter.
You're trolling.
You're gaslighting yourself. It's
You're
not okay
trolling
to, like,
right now.
gaslight yourself.
Admit you're trolling, or we'll keep bringing up the fish. One fish,
Excuse
two
me?
fish, three fish, dead fish. What?
What is wrong with you? You are so insensitive, just like Dean Withers. It's honestly disgusting. Like, what if I made that joke about, like, do you have a dog?
No, I don't. My dog's dead.
Oh. Oh.
By the way,
do you have a cat?
I'm not even making a joke. Like, that's actually like a true statement. That wasn't a joke at all.
Well, unlike you, I don't make fun of dead animals, so I'm not gonna go that far, Parker. My cat's
I'm not
crying.
making fun
Oh
of
my
a dumb.
God.
I'm not making
Yes,
fun of
you
a
made
dead
fun of
animal.
my-
I'm making fun of
my
a dead
fish.
fish. Okay.
Which is an animal, Parker. What is
No,
wrong with
fish
you?
are
And
not
the only
animals,
reason
okay?
Nobody wants. Excuse you?
Fish are not animals.
Okay.
Not true. I do not
Well, I
categorize them as
actually
animals.
do you want to know
Want to know
something,
why?
Parker?
Want to know why I don't categorize them as animals?
Do you want to know something? I mod for the vegan teacher on her live streams on one of my accounts.
Okay, not anymore. Can't do this. All right, let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria. Listen to the TikTok screen. Just needed about like a 30-second chill second time. What's up, how old are you?
Yes, hello?
Do you support Trump?
Of course.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
What? That's an easy answer. That's Trump.
Okay. Alrighty, why do you support Trump?
Look at what he's done for the economy. He's helping us grow. He's fighting for
already
our
turned the shit
freedom
up.
and for the rest of the Middle East. Look what he's doing. He's providing democracy into Iran, and they've been struggling against this Islamic oppression. And now I believe that he's providing a benefit to these people that have been struggling.
Can you name one metric of the economy that is better off since Trump got in office?
Yes, with China, they've been, building everything for us from industrial side of viewership, and now with Trump's policies and
I can't. You're kind of covering your mic. I asked for one metric of the economy that's better off since Trump got in office.
Yeah, I'm getting there. You kind of cut me off. What I was trying to say is that with industrialization having passed through the U.S. and we're not in that stage anymore, we've kind of lost that manufacturing metric for income and economy. Now with these tariffs in China, and now they're trying to bring the industry back into the U.S., it is going to allow our economy to grow better than where it was before.
Okay. So what metric of the economy is better off?
I don't know what kind of answer you're looking for. If you can give me an example.
Yeah,
maybe
like
I
something
can
like
answer.
inflation, unemployment, GDP growth, real median wage growth. Hint, every single one of those I just mentioned are worse off since Trump got in office.
Okay, but it's usually handed off by the previous administration.
But like it was better off when Biden was in office.
Yeah, that would have been handed off by the previous administration, Trump. So you have to wait later
What?
to see. It's only been a year.
So you think the inflation that
not even
happened
a year and a half.
So do you think the inflation that happened under Biden's administration was because of Trump?
Do I say that one more time? Sorry.
Do you think the inflation that happened under Biden's administration is because of Trump?
No, Biden.
Okay, so then obviously you don't think everything is to carry over.
That's a difference,
So
'cause
why
it
have
wasn't
why
Biden.
is practically
It wasn't
every
Biden.
metric of the economy got worse off since Trump got in office?
Listen, that wasn't Biden though. That was the auto pen. Different president.
You understand that every president uses the auto pen, right?
Yeah, but Biden used it like his personal assistant.
No evidence of that.
Didn't you see the plaque that Trump posted?
Yeah, that's like a joke. That's not like an actual real thing. You know, Trump used the auto pen
Written by a
to
5-year-old.
Yeah, you know they use the auto pen Trump specifically to pardon violent rioters who beat police officers and all the people on January 6th.
I don't know. I would have to verify. I can only.
Yep,
take your
look it up.
idea.
Trump has used auto pen.
I'm not saying that he didn't use it. I said Biden was not a president. The auto pen was.
Biden
He
was the
didn't-
president. Auto pen cannot be a president. That makes zero sense.
What do you mean? If he can't mentally, he's not cognitive to be able to produce any type of policy
He was.
or anything.
He was.
No,
He
he
was.
No, he was not. He
Are
was.
you
good. He was
saying
better
Biden?
at
Wait, are
the-
you making the argument that Biden only used auto pen?
No, I'm making the argument that Biden was not cognitive at a functional level, and
Okay,
that
well, I mean, I would
it
actually
is.
say
It is.
that
Do you agree?
I would say that Biden's better off than Trump.
Do you think Biden had full cognitive ability during his entire presidency?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Neither does
And
Trump, by the way.
Does Trump?
so far from what's been released, yes.
You know what? I'm just going to start denying reality about Biden. He was completely cognitively aware. Because you guys just don't do that with Trump. Like, seriously. Like, you guys are unwilling to acknowledge reality.
Sorry,
At this point, I'm just going to
you
start
cut out
saying
for a second.
Biden was
Can you repeat
100% cognitively aware. Biden had no cognitive issues, absolutely none. He was 100% there. There were no issues with his cognitive health at all. Absolutely none.
Number one. Number one.
Then that just
Number
proves
one,
that
you've
you're
actually
just
never
lying
seen
about
a
it.
more cognitive president than Joe Biden, actually.
No, I mean, then you're just proving that you're lying to prove your point. You're biased.
No, dude,
You're going to try and say that.
he genuinely was the most cognitively aware president you've ever seen.
Biden or Trump?
Biden.
You're talking about Trump, I agree. You're talking about Biden. Okay,
Yeah.
so then you're kind of just destroying your whole basis of like being a reasonable and unbiased person. You know that he.
Oh,
was
okay.
not
So are you saying that if
cognitively
I'm unwilling to acknowledge that Joe Biden had a cognitive decline, that makes me an unreasonable and biased person? So wouldn't that make you an unreasonable and biased person if you're not willing to acknowledge it with Donald Trump?
No, but there is actual data showing.
Oh
that he's
no,
not cognitive.
no. Yeah,
There
because
is.
why? Why? Because you just
Are
feel
you
like
saying
it.
there isn't?
Why? Because you just
Let me
feel like
ask you,
it.
Is there any data? Is there data? Is there?
Yeah,
actual
there
proof
is.
showing that
He looked up
wasn't?
at an eclipse
But
twice
what
with his
about
bare
Trump?
eyes. He said windmills are causing whales to die numbers never seen before. He said we should look into disinfectant by injection to fight COVID-19. He said that we should
You
nuke
just,
hurricanes to
all you
fight them.
sound is like
I
you
can
just
keep
sound
going.
like
You want
a
me to keep
liberal
going?
who's upset. Your hair should probably be purple or something because you're getting upset based off of just statements.
Well, I'm saying that he's cognitively declining. That's what do you mean? My hair should be purple because I'm upset? That makes
So
no sense.
looking at an eclipse would make you cognitively declined, or is just something maybe you didn't know?
Yeah, if you
If you're
yeah,
his age and you don't know, then you got a problem.
it's not just his age and he didn't know. It's also that he's president of the United States and that medical professionals and scientists probably fucking told him this like that day, that literal day. I promise you that happened. He's president of the United States of America.
You're basing your argument off of assumptions. How can you even like?
Yeah, I think that the president of the United States, before they look at the eclipse, was told that you need protective glasses on before that happens. Hell, I was told in high school.
Honestly, I feel sad if you're just making assumptions to prove your point.
Wow.
That's not really how you
Wow,
do it.
what a dishonest person.
Do you remember, Parker,
Right,
that
for real, that's very
that
dishonest.
one video of Biden, and he's like talking to somebody, and then he like just like wanders off. He just like starts like walking away, and they have to go like pull him back and everything. I think he was in France or something when this happened, right? Trump did that last year. Trump was talking to the prime minister of Japan, and he's talking, and he just turns and just starts like wandering off. He just wanders off. They had to go and like get him and like pull him back, right? He did the exact same thing as Biden, but I don't hear MAGA being like, "Oh my God, he's so cognitively declined. Oh no, what are we gonna do? He's wandering away." See, you guys ignore his baffles and his like fuck ups, but you focus all on Biden and Biden. It's always Biden, even though he's long gone now. He's in the wind. He's still giving talks, by the way, and he sounds just fine. He was up there, I think, like fucking yesterday, and he's like, "I'm doing okay. I'm all good." Like, you guys have to move on and focus on the here and now. And Trump is clearly some kind of decline, not just in body but in mind. His body is like falling apart. He has bruises all over himself, and he falls asleep at cabinet meetings. I mean, this is not like unknown stuff.
This guy is so ridiculous. You can unmute, by the way. I sent you the invite to unmute, Crown. You just had a lot of background noise. That's why I muted you while Matt was speaking.
Yeah, my fault. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say you're basing your entire argument off of one plot point. That's how it works. Biden didn't have an incident. He had many throughout his entire presidency. You're trying to claim one point of your argument to show that it's the same thing. That's not how you do it. That's
Can
not
you
how
count?
analysis works.
Can you count?
I gave you multiple points. But
Yeah,
okay.
can you count? Like, we gave you
You're
multiple
talking to Matt,
points.
right? Can he count?
No, I'm asking you,
No,
can
I'm
you
talking about
count?
cognitive function.
Hey, I'm
talking
muting you
about-
again. I'm muting you again because you're not listening. Can you count? We both provided more than one reason. If you think that we only provided one reason, that must be because you're engaging in MAGA math.
Can I say something? I was
Yes.
saying that his only argument was that he stated Trump walked off in the wrong direction.
That was
the
not
one
our
point
only
I was
argument.
talking about.
Do you want me to bring up
For
other things?
cognitive decline.
Wait, I brought up other things. I brought up the
For
fact that
cognitive decline.
Yeah, I brought up the fact that he looked up an eclipse with his bare eyes. I brought up the fact that he said that windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. I brought up the fact that we said we should look into disinfectant by injection to fight COVID-19, and that he said that we should nuke hurricanes. Yeah, those were things that I brought up that obviously are demonstrating of cognitive decline.
That is not, because for example, nuking a hurricane. Do you know what the purpose behind that was? Why he was saying that? It's to disrupt the weather cycle and the wind.
Yeah, and
and make it radioactive.
And any human who knows basic
Your
physics
argument
would
is
know
talking.
you can't do shit with nuking a fucking hurricane. Like it takes like fucking high school physics to know that like fucking nuking a hurricane will do absolutely nothing. All you'll do is make it radioactive. That's all you'll do with it. Like it will have no effect on the fucking hurricane.
Well, I'm 100% positive you're not a physicist.
Radioactive!
But I know
Radioactive!
that's the case.
Whoa! Oh! Hurricanes
He's even making fun of
radioactive!
you.
They're radioactive!
See, Matt, you shouldn't let him make fun of you like that. What I'm trying
I'm
to say
making
is
fun of
that-
you, dude!
What? You're the one who's.
How do you not? Why do you think I'm making fun of Matt? Are you like actually cognitively aware right now?
For sure. Look, you're trying. So when you start losing an argument, what do they say? You usually attack the person.
I would say that you've had cognitive
you
decline,
doing?
but that would mean that you've actually declined in the first place.
Anyways, if we go back to on topic, because I think you kind of drifted off, what I was trying to say is that Trump has provided benefits to this country that Biden had failed completely. And if you can't agree to that, I think that you're biased in your opinions under the fact that you don't like some policies that he enacted and that you don't support. Therefore, he's an enemy, and everything you think he did was wrong.
That's not. No, I never said because of his policies that makes him cognitively declined. I gave you explicit examples of Donald Trump doing insanely batshit crazy things that we would consider cognitive decline in any other person.
I wasn't talking about the cognitive declines part. I was just saying about supporting him. I was saying that you don't support him because he enacted policies that you don't accept, and therefore everything he does is something wrong.
No,
biased.
I never said every single thing is
he's
wrong.
doing.
Never said that. I like Operation Warp Speed.
So you support Trump on some policy. You support Trump on some policies then.
Operation Warp Speed. It's not that I support Trump. It's that I think that we end up agreeing on some policies. But any policy I would agree with Trump on is something that is bipartisanly agreed upon across the board.
So, do you support the fact that Trump has worked towards separating certain issues in the Middle East that have been causing issues into the U.S.?
I don't think starting a war with Iran is justified. I think it's been worse for this country through actually metric. Can you explain any objective you think that we've met with the war with Iran?
I'd say the objective is we changed leadership with a leader who was directly in opposition of the U.S. and its entire thing. I don't know a better word for it.
But that didn't better the conditions. It's the same regime. So regime change has not been met.
And by the way, his son, who is currently now the leader,
I didn't say regime change. I said
more
leadership
hard
change.
line than the father was. So all you did was make the person in charge now, who's more hardline and anti-US.
Again, you're using
now
an
he's in
assumption.
charge. No, I'm not. We know who the son is. We know.
Again,
his
you're
politics.
using an
We know
assumption.
how he feels. What do you mean I'm using an assumption?
I'm just going to use your word. I'm going to use your words so that you know I'm not lying. I'm saying you said who is probably more against. That was your word. That's an assumption.
No. I
You
said we
probably.
know for a fact he is more anti-US, more anti-West than his father was. That's why they try to take him out
Is
too,
there a metric
and they
for that?
failed to take him out.
Is there a metric for that, or are you making an assumption?
Yes, no, I'm not making an assumption. We know who this person is. He has given statements. He has policy positions. We know who this is. That's why they tried to take him out too, and they failed in doing so. He's currently still alive.
No, I said a metric in the sense of we know that the previous Ayatollah was in 100% had no love for the U.S., right? Can we agree on that or no?
Yes, the previous Ayatollah was also anti-U.S. Yes,
Okay, but you're saying that his son was even more.
his son is even more. He's still alive.
I know I was just figuratively, but I'm just saying that he is even more than someone
Anti-West,
who
yes,
completely.
yes. Which is
I
why they
mean,
tried to
I
take.
guess you're
Which is why they tried to take him
you're
out too.
entitled to your opinion, but that is
It's not my
still an
opinion. This is
assumption.
the assessment of the intelligence community. It's also why they tried to take him out too. They tried to take him out with the father because they knew that this guy was also uh, the guy who's going to be next in line, and he's more anti-hard line. But they failed in taking him out. He's the one who's currently in charge.
So before even his father died, sorry about that. Before his father died, you're saying he was still even more anti-American than or anti-U.S. than his own father.
He is more anti-U.S. and anti-West than his own father. He's more of a hardliner, meaning that he
Before his
had.
father died. Before his
Yes, he
father
was
died.
known. Yes, yes. I don't know how to explain this even more. He's a hardliner. He was more hardline than his father.
Well,
What are
that
you not
just sounds
understanding?
like a child who was throwing a tantrum, and it's a good thing that we were attacking him, trying
A
to
child
stop
to throw
these
a tantrum. The
people
guy's
who
in his
were.
50s, I think. What?
He's still a child of his father. I didn't say a kid. I said a child.
He. What point are you even making? He's a adult man who is
You
more
were
hardline
trying
than
to
his
argue
father.
on
That
semantics.
that
No,
that have not.
you're. Hold on,
Thus the change of like
Matt.
getting
Please don't
a
cut
better
me off.
person. You've been cutting me off this whole
I
time,
was
by the way,
saying.
dude.
Okay, well, I'm asking you not to cut me off. Two wrongs doesn't make it right. What I'm trying to
Well,
say is
don't
that
fucking cut me off then. I'm not
you're
gonna. I'm not
arguing
gonna honor what you want
semantics.
just because you won't do it to me. What?
Well, okay, sorry that you feel that way then. But I'm trying to say you're arguing on semantics, and that's why I was trying to say that it does make a difference, a
I'm
child
not
or a
arguing
kid.
on like any fucking semantics. I'm
You
giving you a
said he's a
metric
grown
point that
adult who's
Parker made.
50.
Oh my God,
You
move
said he's
past this. I'm
50.
giving you a reasoning why the regime has not changed, and you're focusing on the word whether or not he is or isn't. This is not a like debatable topic. Everybody knows that like this person is more hardline. Thus, the actual policy of changing the regime has not been met. That was Parker's point, and I was only backing that up by saying the now the person who's in charge is more hardline.
Well, I don't believe that he is, but I do believe that probably he's upset that his father died, and that's
He doesn't
understandable.
believe
But at the
anything.
same
I mean,
time, he's
red is blue and up is down.
what?
Can you engage with this point? Otherwise, I'm just going to go to the next person. This is like mind numbing.
Okay, so what do you want me to engage into specifically?
What did Matt just say? The fact that he's more hardline than his father, so you haven't gotten better conditions within that respect. So what legitimate objectives were met? If there hasn't been a better leader put in place, what objectives have been met
Oh,
with this
okay,
war?
okay. I have an answer. Sorry to cut you. I have an answer for that. You're making, okay, not an assumption, but you're making a statement based off of something that is still ongoing. We don't know exactly where it's going to end up. You can't state that it has gotten worse. You can maybe in the current position, I'll say that you could,
Well,
but
I'm
you
asking
can't state the
what
final
objectives
result
have
is going
been
to be
met.
worse.
Can you answer the what objectives have been
We
met?
have removed the original Ayatollah. We
But
removed
that's
what was
not an
that
objective because
83
we haven't led to
officials in
better
that one.
conditions. Okay, I'm gonna
That
go to the
isn't
next.
objective.
I'm gonna go to the next person. I can't do this, dude. I'm sorry. It's like is it me right now? I don't know.
No, you're good. He wasn't responding to the point. Like the point was clear, and he just wasn't like either like fucking tracking it or he didn't want to respond to it because he knew that the point was gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna try one more person. If it doesn't work, I'll probably just do Q&A and get off. Like I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like today's been really hard, honestly.
It has been rough.
Mal, thank you so much. I really appreciate the hanging lights. Thank you, thank you. Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates.
Boy, shit. All
Yo,
they
what's up?
did
How
was
old are you?
a bunch of books and shit like that. Like, bro, you have to understand, like, when you talk to certain people, you have to
Do you support Trump?
be able to talk a certain way. If that makes any sense.
Do you support Trump? I'm assuming no. But of course I do know that I gotta talk to different people different ways, of course. I talk to people all the time.
Yo, why don't you like this girl, bro?
Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Alrighty. I'm gonna try like 3-4 more people. If I can't find someone, I'm probably just gonna do a Q&A until my girlfriend gets back. And then I'll probably call it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Bro, turn off the fucking live. Nobody wants to listen to your ass.
Dude, you're in my live every day. You love listening to me.
No, I don't. I love watching you crash out with these fucking trolls. You deserve nothing.
Why do you hate me so much?
Because you're a disingenuous fuck.
How am I disingenuous?
You just spread lies all the time. Like the other day, you said you were more likely to have sexual violence from a white guy than a black guy or someone.
I
Pretty
don't
sure,
think I
yeah.
made such a claim.
Maybe it was Dean. But both of you guys are so fucking...
So what lie have I engaged in?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was you. You don't remember saying anything like that? I mean...
I don't think I remember saying that. But, I mean, I'm not even sure about the statistics on that.
Well, you guys just
I
don't know.
I
wouldn't say that
was... I wouldn't be, like, shocked if that was true.
It's just funny watching you guys crash out. You really should turn off the live. You're not going to get anybody because nobody respects you.
Okay. Well, I mean, but like, why not?
Because you're controlled by the DNC. You just say whatever Hassan Piker says. You're so gross.
So I'm controlled by the DNC, and I say everything that Hassan Piker would say. So am I a socialist?
You were.
Do I say that I'm a socialist?
You say you were a socialist.
But am I a socialist right now?
You think your views would change back towards that?
No. Am I a socialist right now?
You're a democratic socialist? Or what
No.
Are you? What are you?
So if I'm not a socialist right now, how am I saying the same thing as Hassan Piker when he calls himself a socialist?
Okay, just because I'm not a Republican or a liberal doesn't mean I can't say the same things as you, you idiot.
You said I say everything the same as Hassan Piker, but I don't.
Damn near.
Okay, so you think we say everything the exact same? Or
No,
we have similar views?
The things that you do say come from him.
Okay, can you give me an example?
Just go ahead and turn off the live, bub. Nobody wants to listen to you.
Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example?
I don't have an example currently.
You don't have an example?
Like,
that's kind of unfortunate. So then, like, did you not expect to be questioned on that?
you really should just get off, dude. Nobody respects
Did
you.
you just not expect to be questioned on anything you said on my stream?
That you're a fucking idiot?
Who do you think is respected more in this live stream?
I mean, you want to question me about how you're
I have a
an
question.
idiot? Go ahead, dude. Demean yourself all night.
Who do you think is more respected in this live stream, me or you?
I could give a fuck less.
I'm just asking, who do you think is more respected in this live stream, me or you?
This isn't my livelihood. My livelihood isn't entertaining people online.
I understand. You're one of the people that watches my stream all the time. I'm asking you, who's more respected in my live stream?
Dude, nobody respects you. You get trolled all day. Like,
so let's just clarify.
You get trolled
I have
more
a
than
question.
you debate all day.
Who is more respected in my live stream?
Hours of you getting
He can't answer this question. So watch this. Who is more respected in my live stream, me or you?
I don't even think anybody knows who I am, so I feel like
clarify,
I do get more respect than you.
So by the way, so to clarify, you said if you're not respected, then you should get off. You're not respected in this live stream. Should you get off?
That's not how this works.
Wait. I thought that
You're on a child's
I just
app
used your
right
own
now.
argument against you, and you got mad.
You're 24. You're on a child's app. You're hanging out with people that got
How old are you?
cavities all over their fucking mouth.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, so why are you on a kid's app then? Also, you said I'm hanging out with people that have cavities all over their mouth. Are you saying that you have cavities?
I'm talking about Dean.
What? He had one cavity?
That's what he says.
Wow, dude.
I don't even know why the
have
fuck
have
he
you
would say
have you ever had a cavity before?
When I was a child.
Wow, dude. You had so many cavities, dude. You had cavities, bro. That's crazy, bro.
You guys are stuck in that child mentality. You just getting cavities all the time.
I haven't got a cavity.
You got your toothbrushes stuck in your fucking in the packages and shit.
Why are you so mad, bro? Clearly, you're mad, bro. Like
Dude,
you're so mad that you just tried to like
hilarious
make up things to like dislike me for.
You were crying the other day. You crashed out. You talk about you had to end stream. You can never get people up in the beginning. It's actually hilarious.
Is that so you watch my streams for inevitable circumstances like that?
It's hilarious to watch somebody that thinks they deserve respect get disrespected all day long.
Okay. And that's what you like to watch that every single day.
Not every day, no.
You do. I literally see you in my guest box every day, dude.
Every day, yeah.
I'm not joking. So,
Yeah,
by the
pull
way,
up
just so people don't know,
pull up the
this
evidence.
this guy is the. So for the people in the chat, this guy is the "Why are you so obsessed with me?" guy. That's this guy. So I just want to clarify, this guy loves me. He's in my streams all the time. So all the people in the chat know you by that. I just want to let you know they didn't know you by anything else. They know you by that, and now they're like, "Whoa, oh my God, this guy is obsessed with you. He loves you so much." Like
I still don't.
You're
get
my number one fan,
nearly
dude.
As much as
you are my number one fan, I think. You know, I actually I took a look at my watch time.
Disrespected every day.
Did you know that you're like a top viewer on my watch time? Did you know that?
Go ahead, show it.
That's funny.
I mean, I can go pull it up, but you are a top viewer on my watch
lying,
time.
Guys, he's lying. Now he's.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You are a top viewer on my watch time.
Disingenuous. Fuck.
No, I'm not. Zoe, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Okay,
Venmo.
what is it? Top
Tessa,
what?
thank you for the $20. Thank you so much on Venmo. Thank you.
Pivoting, guys. We're not even.
Wait, what is it? Top. So now you've pivoted. Now you're like, what is it? Top what?
Because if it's top 100 out of 5,000, I don't really give a fuck.
It's out of a lot more than 5,000.
Out of I don't care. We're talking about right now.
No, of like
just because of people's.
No, we're not talking about right now. We're talking about
how many viewers does it say? Yeah, because I guess I get 1,000 viewers on my little shitty live sometimes. So
no, you don't.
Yeah, that doesn't fucking count. Yes, I do. I can show you the analytics because I'm not a fucking liar.
Okay, show the analytics right now.
Well, you know I can't do that while I'm on.
Why? Oh, okay. Why not? Don't you have a second device?
No, not next to me. No.
Oh, but it's near you, so go grab it.
No, I'm not even logged in onto that shit on my other devices.
Interesting.
But why are you debating me? Like, just kick me, dude, and turn off the live. You're not gonna get anybody else.
Well, I'm not gonna turn on anyone off. The reason why I was just like, I'm trying to see why you're so obsessed with hating me. Like,
dude,
why do you keep doing this?
You don't deserve this audience.
So then why are you a part of the audience?
Because it's hilarious. It's actually
he loves it because he finds
because
so much.
you guys
so you find my
get mad.
wait. So you find my live
doing
stream
this,
fun? You're entertained by my live?
I'm entertained by your.
Oh yeah, he's entertained everybody. Can we get some W's in the comment section? We're entertaining him. Let's go. W's in the comment section right now. Holy shit, we love it, everybody. We're entertaining him like nothing else before. He picks this out of all entertainment he could possibly pick. He doesn't pick Netflix. He doesn't pick HBO. He doesn't pick Hulu. He doesn't pick Peacock. He doesn't pick any specific streaming service. He picks Parker Get a Job's live stream. Actually, that's what he picks. He loves it so much it entertains him like you've never seen it before.
Yeah, that's why you can't get anybody up to debate.
You love
You're
me.
So
you love me. Can you just admit it?
Own fans
wait, dude. Can you admit it, Samson?
Rules.
Samson, can you admit that you love me, bro?
I hate you.
No, you don't. You love me. Come on, admit it. You love me. Come on, admit it. You spend so much time in my stream. You don't hate me.
I like watching you suffer, dude. It's sadistic.
No, come on. Would you be sad if I died?
Yes, I would. I'm not a horrible person.
Okay. Okay. So you do love me.
Get the fuck out of here. Why do you... So now we have this guy trying to indoctrinate me to get me to like have emotional feelings for him. This is kind of weird. This
I
is
didn't
like grooming
indoctrinate you
people.
at all. You already
He's
said
grooming me.
You already said that you do.
You're grooming me.
That is a
I'm
dumb thing to
21
say.
years old. You're 24.
I'm in a relationship, dude. What are
Okay,
you talking
never
about?
heard of polyamorous? It's 20
And also
26.
21 and 24. That is not what grooming is. That's like
You don't know when we met?
What? What are you saying, bro? You're just spamming buttons, bro. You don't even know what you're saying at this point.
Turn this shit off.
21 and 24 is 2 adults, bro. Those are 2 people that can drink, bro. What are you saying, bro? Oh
That's
my
what
god.
You don't know the difference between 21 and 24.
Oh my god, dude. That was hilarious. Oh my god, 21 and 24. Even if you were trying to, that's just like a dumb thing to say. You love me though. You spend so much time in my live streams. You enjoy it. Just admit you're a fan.
Just admit that these trolls genuinely get to you, dude. It's hilarious.
Yeah, you really make me laugh. I mean, you're a troll.
Yeah.
You would grift on the stream all the time to get my attention, and you make me laugh. Want to know why? Because you love me so much, and like you're one of those trolls that will never stop joining the stream. Like actually, like you will always be here. You've been here for like how long, dude? You're like one of my most loyal
I've barely
viewers.
been here. I've barely been here.
What do you mean you've barely been here? You're one of my most loyal viewers, my guy.
Dude, maybe a month.
No, you're one of my most loyal viewers.
Get your head out
I'll be
your
honest,
ass.
I have no idea who he is.
Exactly.
This is the why are you so obsessed with me guy.
I
I
don't
know the
even
guy that comes up. I say, "Why are you so obsessed
He
with
does.
me?"
He doesn't even know what the fuck you're talking about,
He actually
No,
does
I do
now.
actually know.
He actually does now. He just said he does.
dude.
He gets
Matt
so
doesn't
many
even
of these
fucking
kind of
respect your ass.
Yeah, because he doesn't know. He doesn't know you. He knows how I
I
reference
don't
you.
respect poker. Yeah, I don't respect poker. Exactly.
Wait, you just said Matt
No,
doesn't
it's all-
respect
it's
me.
all a grift
Yeah,
bubble.
yeah. He said, I don't respect.
It's all a
you.
grift
Wait,
bubble,
Samson,
and
Samson,
when
I have a
their
question.
grift bubble pops, they
Do
all
you
leave
think
each other,
do you
just
think my
like
viewers
Tashika
respect
and
me?
Whatever.
Hey, do you think my viewers respect me?
Hell no, dude. Look at what they do. They always come in your live stream when you tell them not to. They fucking don't respect your...
If you respect me, type 3 in the comment section.
Doesn't matter. Look at the... I saw 1-3.
You only see one?
Damn, I got a
YouTube, you see
live
a lot more.
restriction. Fuck.
Yeah, you did for harassment and bullying. I actually have to restart on the stream if I were to keep it going. So, I think I'm just gonna do Q&A from now on.
That's probably a good idea.
Because yeah, it is harassment and bullying. So I would literally have to restart, and there's no point to restart at this point. But yeah, if you have any questions, everybody, we're just gonna chill here for a bit. You can ask me Venmo, PayPal, or YouTube Super Chat. Me and Matt will just be chilling here, answering questions. We'll do a Q&A for a little bit. It probably won't be very long, but maybe like 20 minutes or so. Maybe like 20 minutes or
I'll
so.
probably go live after you though, because I'll probably be on for at least another hour or two.
Perfect. So yeah, if you have any questions, ask them right now, and I can answer them. I'm gonna try to catch up with everyone who did send messages and whatnot so far. The best way to be able to do so is again over YouTube, Super Chat, Venmo, or PayPal. Scott, thank you for the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Maester James Bond, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Satan Probably, thank you for the $5 as well. Thank you so much, Satan Probably. Favi, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. Trevor, thank you for the $5. Thank you. As well as Scott, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much, Scott. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for Scott in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Satan Probably. Thank you for the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Get some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, that's actually like bad for the industry and bad for jobs across the board, including even for U.S. citizens. As well as Sarah, thank you so much for the appreciate the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That is very true. Thank you very much. Thank you. As well as Rocky, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $5. Thank you, Lenal. Thank you for the $5 as well. I'm the Beard. Thank you for the $5. Thank you. I think I am fully caught up with everyone who sent it prior. Yoshua, thank you for the $1 for live schedule tomorrow. Can you do evening? I don't know what time I will be tomorrow. It kind of just depends on what I have time for tomorrow. I'll keep y'all updated. I'm not quite sure. Jillian, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. They said, have you heard about the Amanda Ungaro story and how it relates to Melania's speech? I have seen tweets and stuff that you said. So what's your argument?
I did not say majority. I wasn't meaning like the whole majority, like 50% of the people.
Okay,
so 50% of Jewish
so
people.
you just mean that there's a disproportionate amount of Jewish people in media?
Okay, there's a group of people named APAC out here in this country.
That's the American Israel PAC. Okay, so like let me clarify. Let me clarify. Holy shit, dude.
So you're a part of APAC, man. Come on.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about? So
all right.
So can I please address this? So in terms of this, what you're not understanding is you were making a claim that majority. Now you're not making a claim it's a majority. You're just saying disproportionate levels of influence within the media. Okay. So that's not controlling everything.
Okay, how did we even get on this topic?
You said Jewish people control everything. You said that you were going to be.
You
said if I really say what I'm going to say, I'm going to be anti-Semitic. So I'm like, okay, do you think Jewish people control everything? You said yes.
That's what you said. I just said yes to it. I didn't say it out of my own mouth. That's not what I fully said.
What?
You said, do you think that they control everything?
Yeah,
I did not
and
say
you
that.
said
I think
yes.
they control everything. They control majority of media outlets.
Wait, majority
that
means
excludes CBS. The main majority, I mean the main media outlets that everybody sees.
What does majority mean? What does majority mean?
The ones. Okay.
It means more than 50%, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so but you just said that you don't believe it was more than 50%.
Okay, the main companies, bro. Come on, Parker. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so then that just doesn't matter. Who cares? What's your point? Saying that some companies that are large are owned by Jewish people is not an argument that Jewish people control all of society.
Oh, no, that's not the problem that I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jewish people go inside of multiple United States communities, move in, have people move out, then lobby inside of them communities to shut down American schools, public schools, just so they can have their Jewish schools opened up.
Where?
Yeah, that.
Where?
In New York, Chicago.
So Jewish schools.
Okay.
Are you saying private schools?
Yes, their Jewish private schools are being funded by the United States taxpayer dollar. Yes.
Okay.
And say that's wrong,
what
please.
specific school?
Oh, why y'all always do that? Like I know exactly what school. I read the article. It was in New Jersey. I don't know what Pacific school.
So it was in New York. Now it's in New Jersey.
Well, it's in New York, New Jersey. I think of them.
So then, what's a single source that says this?
Oh, well, I seen that. It was a YouTuber who went over there and did that.
Okay, so
a
YouTuber claiming a YouTuber did this is not a good source.
He is a journalist though. Saying that a CNN artist is not a good source. Saying CBS is not a good source.
You're just claiming those. What? What's the title?
The title of the video?
Sure.
Okay. Tyler Jewish Community. Look up Tyler Jewish Community. I think his name Tyler.
That's not a CNN individual.
And I
You just want me to watch some random. I don't care. I don't care about some random journalist on YouTube.
Too. What
Yeah, and I'm not a source. I wouldn't cite myself, genius.
Of course, I'm not citing myself, genius.
You just cited some random YouTuber.
Yeah, Tyler Avler.
You just cited some random YouTuber
exposing these communities that are taking money
you
from
literally
taxpayer dollars.
You literally are
That's what he's
citing
doing.
you're citing a YouTuber, right?
Yes. Just like people cite you and Dean when I be having debates with people, they cite y'all. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Do not cite.
People do reference stuff that y'all say.
Okay, but
I heard this in the Dean live.
Okay, well so let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. That's not a justified source. Saying Parker Get a Job said this is not a source. That's fucking nuts, okay? Are you serious? Do you think that's a legit source?
That's a YouTube video. These are real life.
Yeah, you are not going to cite Parker Get a Job. What are you talking about, bro? The source you provide is not Parker Get a Job said this. That's not a source. You might say Parker Get a Job said this, and this is the source that he provided. You're not going to say Parker Get a Job said this, therefore it's true. What?
Okay, please help me and inform me to become a better researcher. Tell me where should I get my information from, and only where I should get my information from, please.
Yeah, go find something on AP News, NPR, PBS, Reuters, or some sort of legitimate media source that you can reference information from that you've actually fact checked yourself. Actually
What
look up
makes them
things.
okay? How am I going to fact check it if I'm not going there myself? If I'm not going to these places myself, how can I fact check them? I
I,
can't go to Gaza
I
to
just
see if
told you to go look at
Israel is
them.
doing them things to
I
them. How do I
literally
know that?
just told you to go look at them.
You just told me to confirm, use a trusted source. That's a trusted source is somebody who other people trust, who other people also trust to get their news from, right?
AP News,
Right.
NPR, PBS,
Okay.
and
And I'm
Reuters.
going, and I just cited somewhere where other people trust to get their news from.
Yeah,
So,
saying
and
some
how is it
random
not able to
YouTuber
be
is not a
cited?
source. Stop talking. That's ridiculous. Like, do
Oh my
you actually
God.
think I should engage with this? Like, this is such a waste of time. Like, genuinely. All you're coming up on my live stream and saying is, oh, I watched some random YouTube video, therefore it's true. Are
I
you
watched the
fucking
video. I
serious,
seen the
dude?
whole video. I really watched the whole video. It was really like I was there.
Okay, alrighty.
Oh
No
man.
way. You're serious. You're just not serious.
Bro, like I about the immigration and the black people, young black teens, that's what I'm really here to advocate for. Young black
Okay, can you
teens
name
are
one
trying to
policy?
start
Can you name one policy that Trump has passed that's benefited black people in this country?
um what was that act called? It was the first act or second step act or was it?
The First Step Act, which was
First step act.
bipartisan, and
Yeah.
Kamala Harris also helped with that bill. Okay, I'll give you that, but that was
Okay.
a bipartisan
Cool.
bill. Is there anything unique to Trump that you like?
I like the stubbornness. He actually stands on what he says he's going to do. He says he's going to raise down oil prices. He actually went to the Middle East and start bombing them people. That's
He
the
said
only
he
way
was
you're
going to
going to
reduce
raise
gas
down oil
prices.
prices.
He increased gas prices. He said he was
Yeah.
going to do no new wars. He started a war. He said he was going to release the Epstein files. He hasn't released the Epstein files, even though Melania is asking him to.
He released 3 million pages, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
Now.
and there's over 6 million.
Okay, he released 3 million. How many did
Yeah.
Obama and Biden release again?
Yeah, so he was legally obligated to release all of them. Under the Obama and Biden administration, there was no legal obligation to release them because there was no law that Congress passed to do so. Plus, it was sealed up through 2024. I don't know what you're talking about. And there were investigations into co-conspirators and Ghislaine Maxwell into 2025.
Well, they released over 3 million pages. I feel like that's good enough.
Yeah,
Need to
it's
lot
not
of
because they
victims
were
for that.
legally obligated to release all of them.
Why do y'all want to release all of them? Like, what is
Because
that?
we
What is
want
that going to clear?
because
They're
we
not going to arrest them people. They're not going to
They
arrest
should
them.
be. They should
The
be
Fed,
because we want justice for the victims, justice for the survivors, and we do want accountability. That's what we want. And when this is not being released, that is not accountability. When they are not
and it
holding
sounds
these
like
people
you.
accountable, that is not accountability. You understand that we want them to be held accountable, and we want the information to be out.
Well, the Democrats aren't doing that. They don't want that.
They are. They all voted for the release of the Epstein files.
Yeah, they all voted for the release of the files. But these people have been had this information. They been knew this stuff was been going on, and they still haven't did nothing about it.
So, by the
So,
way, you understand that that would just be the attorney general. There was an independent DOJ under the Biden administration, and also what you're not taking into consideration is that they would have to pass some sort of legislation, right? Which, by the way, there wasn't enough support to do until Trump was in office, right? And in 2025, when it was already unsealed, when there was already a bunch of support, and there was already push and a pressure to do so. All Democrats voted for it. Donald Trump didn't want them released, and he called Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor when she when she wanted to get the Epstein files released.
oh well, yeah. I can't argue that dude is a weirdo. He is a weirdo. A lot of our politicians is, yes, and
Okay,
that
so
includes the Democrats. Yes,
so then why don't you stop
all
supporting
of them
Trump?
need to
And
be
by the way, I'll
exposed.
still be able to hear you. I just have to go run and grab a charger.
Will I stop supporting Trump? Oh yeah, for sure. Like as far as if the election was to re-happen again right now, type stuff, not voting for him. But yeah, as far as the re-election happening right now, probably want to vote for him. I would. I
But
would
why?
vote.
Like, why would you vote for him? That's what I'm asking you.
I said I wouldn't vote for him again. I would vote probably Bernie Sanders because he's actually been out with the
Bernie
people,
Sanders
actually
was
trying.
not a candidate.
If he wasn't a candidate,
Bernie
and
Sanders
then
wasn't a candidate.
no, I'm saying if they did the election over again right now, and Bernie Sanders wasn't a candidate, and it was Kamala versus Trump again, I'm gonna have to vote Trump again. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because, bro, she can't be the first black female president. I'm sorry. She has to represent black people way more than that. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
wait. What about her was bad?
She was just too white. Like she was too
She
scared
was
to be
too
herself.
white. What does that even
Like she
mean?
was too scared to be herself. She
Wait,
didn't
so
wanna
you
be
voted
herself.
you
Like, look
voted
at
for
Obama.
Donald
Obama-
Trump, the racist white guy, because you think Kamala Harris, the black woman, was too white?
She's not a white person. She's not a black person like that.
She is a black
denounced her
person.
blackness.
She is
She
a
went
black
around
person.
saying she was Native
She is
American.
black. What do you mean she's not black?
Again, like look at Obama. Every time he walk around, he ain't scared to go dap up somebody. He ain't scared to look a little unprofessional.
Your argument is that Kamala Harris isn't black.
Be over professional.
This is the most ridiculous argument ever. Do you think Barack Obama is
No,
black?
She don't act like other black people. She tried to.
What do you wait?
So
How do you?
nice. She
Okay,
tried to be
so
too
tell me.
nice.
So tell me how
That's
does she
why.
have to act in order to be black under your view?
Well, shoot, she gotta act strong. She gotta be strong out there. She can't just be soft and allowing Trump
What
to
makes
call
you think
her
that she's not
HOO,
she's not strong?
and she just sat there and allowed that to happen. No,
She
she's supposed to
allowed
get
she
on that
wait, she
stage and
allowed him
treat
to wait, she allowed Trump to call her what?
HOO. I can't say the same word, but HOO.
Okay.
She let them call her that, and she was supposed to get on that stage.
She didn't
and
let
treat
them call her that. She disagreed with that and she
supposed to say-
provided pushback for that. So that's not her letting that happen.
That-
Why don't you say that you don't support Trump because he did call her that?
I support. Well, she's just not. She's not a black candidate. Maybe
She literally is black. And also, by the way, her actions, whatever actions she does make, doesn't make her not black. What are you talking about? That makes
Jasmine
zero
Crockett.
fucking sense. What do you mean an action that she could take that could mean that she's not black? That makes
Because she
zero
don't
fucking
act
sense at
herself, bro.
all.
She acts scared. She act like she don't want to act
No,
herself.
explain
She
to me
don't
how
act
one of her
herself.
actions would make her not black. Wait, I have a question.
Because she don't
Wait,
act
I have a question.
herself.
Could you engage in actions that would make you not black?
Well, shoot, I'm black as it can be. So
Yeah, so could you
yeah.
engage in any action that would make you not black anymore?
Yeah, so say for instance, like I was to run for a political party and I was to get up there and start talking like I grew up like talking like just so polished. She was too polished, bro. That's how it is, bro. You didn't act herself. Like,
What? Wait, hold up. Pause. So you just said you just said she was. So if you act quote unquote polished, which I don't even know what the fuck that means, that would make you not black? That makes no fucking sense. How would you stop being black because you acted a certain way? What type of fucking crazy argument is this, dude? Are you saying because Kamala Harris code switched, that means that she's not black? Are you saying
that
black
means
people
that
that
she
code
don't
switch
know-
aren't black? Is that what your argument
No,
is?
that means that she's clear as they have an identity crisis.
That
She don't know which
code,
side she
code
wanna
switching code switching is not an identity crisis.
She's having an identity crisis. She don't
Wait,
know which one she
also I have a
wanna be.
question.
She's
Do,
mixed.
do you think Obama was quote unquote polished?
Yes. No, he was black. He was unapologetically black.
Wait, so
He'll
I've
walk
so
in that
so
room and he'll jog
so,
down
so,
the stairs.
so to clarify,
he'll run across
so to
the
clarify,
room,
so to
jog
clarify,
across the
so to
room.
clarify, do you think that Obama was quote unquote polished under your view?
Well, he was himself. He was himself. Obama was Barack Obama. He was
Okay.
himself, unapologetically. And anytime anybody said something, he still was himself.
Okay, I don't understand how
he
you're
was
saying that
himself.
Kamala Harris wasn't herself because she code switched. You code switching doesn't mean that you're not yourself.
She don't act how she acts at home. She don't act
Wait,
how
wait,
she
wait.
acts at
Do you act the same in front of your friends as you act in front of your parents?
No, but I
No,
would
so
want my
wait,
United
I have a
States
question.
president
Are
to
you
act herself.
dishonest in front of your friends or your parents because you act differently amongst your friends versus your parents?
No, I'm not supposed to be honoring my friends. No, that's the
Okay,
difference. The
wait. So to
president is
clarify,
supposed to be
so
honoring
you're
us.
dishonest. So you're dishonest because you act differently with your family than you act with your friends.
that's
That's
not-
so crazy. How?
not
Why are
fair
you
enough.
so dishonest? What is such a horrible person? You're so dishonest. How could anyone at all acknowledge that you're a good human being, even though you literally have just acknowledged that you act differently with your family than you act with your friends? Like what? Come on, that doesn't make
Trump
you
don't act like
dishonest.
that. Trump
That
act
doesn't
like
make you
himself.
dishonest because you
That's
act
what the
differently
United States
in
people
different
want.
contexts. That makes literally zero sense.
But that's what the people want, though. People want people who act themselves, who don't have.
I do
their
think
true
Kamala Harris was
personality.
acting
When she
herself. I
was-
don't think her code switching means she wasn't acting as herself.
I don't think she was acting herself.
What are you talking about?
She talks so soft. Like She act like she was shy. She was scared to beat us. She was
I
nervous to
don't.
beat
I
us.
don't think that's true. I think that she was incredibly
Hi,
confident. Did you watch the debates? Did you watch the
everybody.
debates?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and she
I
sounded
watched the one
incredibly
debate that they
confident,
did have.
and she confidently dog walked Trump.
Yeah, she did win that debate, but she didn't seem
Oh,
confident
wait!
enough
So
to
you
win.
wait! You acknowledge that she won that debate, and you don't
She
think she was
won the debate,
confident?
but she won the debate, but she didn't have nothing to really back up a lot of the stuff she was saying. Like she said
Really?
good stuff. Like she said price gouging. We're going to focus on price gouging. We're going to stop corporations from stealing land from homeowners. She was saying good stuff, but it's just like where you been at this whole time, and nobody like she ain't really run a political campaign
She
behind
did.
what
She
she's
did run
saying.
a political campaign. She had over 70 plus pages in her policy to do so. And plus, Trump was president
And
already. Why didn't Trump do everything that he said he was going to do when he was president?
because he only had 4 years to do it.
Okay, so couldn't you say the same thing about Kamala Harris?
No, she was a vice
Oh,
president.
you're being so dishonest.
Right.
You
She's a
can't
vice
you can't
president.
say
She
you can't
couldn't do
say
nothing.
she I don't take into account anything that she says specifically that she's running on because she could have already done it when she was in office, while also simultaneously
Okay.
saying that Trump, oh, you do take into account the things that he's saying, even though he was already in office because he
She's a
only had 4 years
vice.
to do so. At that point, Kamala Harris had less than 4 years and she wasn't even president. She was vice president. So like the argument you're making is literally incoherent gibberish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was a vice president. She did not run a political party, and I'm sorry, I was not going to vote for her. She,
Yeah, but you
like, you
can't mention
know,
anything that she
but
did that.
Jasmine Crockett, yes, I would vote for her. She's a strong
Well, I'm
black
so
woman,
confused. What is the relevant difference
independent.
between Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris that means you would support
She
Jasmine
don't
Crockett but
sit
not
up.
Kamala Harris?
Okay, one of the main things I like about Jasmine
Jasmine
Crockett
Crockett
is
would
she's
laugh
not
at
as
you.
scared.
Jasmine
She's not
Crockett would
scared
say
to
that you are.
change
Wait,
or
what
from
would
her
Jasmine
view.
Crockett tell you to do right now? Would Jasmine Crockett say to support Harris over Trump?
I don't think she would say any of that. She would just let me talk.
She literally did vote for
She would
Harris.
let you talk. I've seen her
No,
videos.
no,
She's talked to Trump
and she
supporters
would
and she
tell
let them
you,
talk.
and
She
no,
don't
and
do what you do, buddy. She's not
yeah,
you.
and
She
no,
do
she
not
would
do
do
what you
this.
do.
She would absolutely tell you to stop supporting Trump and that you were doing horrible for the country by supporting Trump.
Okay, see, that's a person who never met her. See, when you woke up, bro, you gotta, I like her because she actually willing to listen to other supporters and willing to take different parts from the conservative party and bring the good parts from the conservative party and the good parts from the Democratic Party and put them both together, which is what she really got to do if she want to win in Texas. But still, that's why I really like her because she literally forced to bring both sides, both good parts of both sides together.
Jasmine
That's why
Crockett
I
would
would
tell you to
say,
support Harris, and any thought that you have in your head that she wouldn't tell you to do that is
well,
actually delusional.
I would tell her, no, I'm gonna wait till you run for president. I would tell her that, and
But
she will not
and
say
she
that
would
that's
ask you what
delusional.
is the
She will
relevant
fully
difference between
understand that
her and Harris that means you support her but not Harris.
because she's a strong black woman, and she will
And why wouldn't
understand
you say that
exactly
about
what I
Kamala
mean when I
Harris?
say that.
Why wouldn't you say that about Kamala Harris?
Well, because she just don't got the put. I don't really even. I never seen her
So
debate
like
in
again,
Congress
you
hall
don't
before.
like
I never
Kamala Harris
seen
out of
her.
just straight vibes. It's so frustrating because there's nothing I could say to you to convince you because
How
it's
could you
literally
like
just
somebody who don't know?
I don't think that she has this certain vibe that I want from her. That's it.
Okay,
That's all it
so you
is.
want me
It's
to?
just vibes based voting.
Okay, so you want me to vote for a president that I know absolutely nothing about? That's what you're saying?
I want you to
That's what we
do.
should do in
Why
America?
didn't you do research?
I did research and it wasn't
Then you
enough.
should be able to
One thing
know.
I found out about her is that she did a transgender transplant on a prison inmate. That was one of the main stories I was able to
No,
pick
you
pull up
all
about
you
her.
got was misinfo.
So
Okay? So what she specifically did was she allowed for trans people to get access to hormones which people who are not trans are also able to get access to because it's
yeah,
medicine. Okay? That's not surgery.
yeah, and that wasn't good enough for me, man. I want
Okay.
to see some things that she
So
actually did for the
by the
black
way, all
community.
you know about Kamala
I
Harris
want to
is
see what
some
she did for the black community. That's what I want to see.
you couldn't mention a single thing that Trump did for the black community that specifically was only done by him. The first step back that you mentioned, she helped get done. You know that, right?
Uh huh.
Okay, so then you do
Okay.
think she did something.
And okay, but that's just when she was just vice president. I'm talking about before
She
this.
wasn't vice
I'm talking
president. She was
before her
senator.
presidential.
She was a
I'm
senator.
talking before her presidential
She
run.
was a
I'm
senator.
talking what she been
She
known
was a
for.
senator.
Well, I know Jasmine Crockett is very recent into this, and from her beginning, I was able to see Jasmine Crockett from her beginning
I have a
all the way
question.
up to now. So that's why I'm gonna keep supporting her over Kamala Harris, and I want her to be the first
Kamala.
black president. So
Okay.
I don't care.
Wait, so you
I will
do
not
agree
vote
that
for her.
Kamala Harris is black now?
She mixed.
What?
She's mixed. Yeah,
Wait,
she's mixed.
wait, okay, so she's biracial and so is Obama.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so does that make her not black?
I never said that that doesn't make her black.
So she is black.
I'm just saying she's not a strong black woman that I've
Okay, I'm just
seen
gonna
like.
kick you. You're a
So
waste of
yeah,
time to talk
she's
to.
not.
Complete waste of time to talk to. Let's go on the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen. I have some people to thank, but let's make sure to get this next person up here before I do so. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria. List in the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
33.
Do you support Trump?
Yep.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald.
Okay. And, alrighty. And what's your birth year?
1992.
Alrighty, for sure. I have some people to thank real quick. Just give me a quick second, everybody. Just give me a quick second. Justina, thank you so much for the $80. Thank you very much on PayPal. Who's some W's for Justina in the comment section right now? Thank you very much. Who's some W's for Justina in the comment section? Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. W's for Justina. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. Riley as well. Thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let me make sure to click on your message so I can see the full thing, Riley. Do you just give me a quick second? It's not letting me see the whole message real quick. They said if Trump was supposed to go to prison but didn't because he got elected, would that mean that he would go back to jail after his presidency is over? No, because they've already set it up to be that way. So that he wouldn't go to prison because of that, and they didn't put a future date that he would. Demi, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Lovey, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I definitely would have, especially. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Give some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much, Lovey. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as I have some people to thank over on YouTube as well. Do just give me a quick second, everybody. Just give me a quick second to thank some people over on YouTube. Give me a quick moment. Let me check. If you're on YouTube, again, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. Joe, thank you for the $2, by the way. Thank you very much. Erotica, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Trevor, thank you for the $5. Thank you very much, Trevor. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some W's for Erotica as well? Thank you very much for the $5 again. Trevor, again with the 5. Megaroni, thank you for the $5. Marianne, thank you for the 5. Megaroni, again with the $10. Thank you. Mr. James Bond, thank you so much for the $5. Papa, thank you for the $20. Thank you very much. Darian with the 30 pounds. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I definitely will. Well, thank you so much, Darian. Papa, thank you for the $10. Again, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. As well as Joni, thank you so much for the appreciate the $5 and for the $2. Thank you very much. Ajla, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much for the happy late birthday. Thank you so much. Mr. James Bond, thank you for the $2. Thank you. Ashley, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. Lou, thank you for the £5. Vel, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $2. Ashley, thank you for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some W's for them in the comment section right now? I think I am fully caught up already. Why do you support Donald Trump?
No men in the women's bathrooms.
Okay, so then why did you vote for a guy that bragged about walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent?
Who are you talking about?
Donald Trump. He bragged about walking to the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent, where two 18-year-olds came out, said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms when Donald Trump would barge in.
What's your source about those girls saying that?
Yeah, you can find that directly from the individuals themselves, and it's been vastly reported on in the media. I can get you an article. Yes, you can find it on CNN, BuzzFeed. Those are specifically the articles where they directly interviewed them.
Okay, but in the BuzzFeed article, when they reached out to 49 of the 51 contestants, they only got a hold of 15 of them, and from the 15, 11 said it would be impossible. It's taxpaying American, by the way. 11 of them said it would be impossible to miss Parker, and that it didn't happen. 2 said it was creepy. and then one said it was entitled and not creepy, and then the other one said it wasn't creepy. After those girls spoke out, another
I
girl
think you're
came out.
misaccounting. Because I think that you said that it's not possible that he could have done this. That's not what they said at all.
No, I'm talking about when they asked the girls, right? They got a hold of 15 of the 51 contestants. 11 did not recall it happening and said it would be impossible to miss, my friend. So that's what I'm saying about 11 of them. That leaves...
Yeah, that would be if he
4...
showed up to do it at that particular event. You understand that just because he didn't do it at one particular event doesn't mean he didn't do it at any of the events. I just gave you the fact that he bragged about doing it himself, and then I've also given you the fact that it was corresponded with individuals that specifically... Yeah, I can play the audio. Do you want to hear it?
Well, can I finish my sentence? Because you're misrepresenting what I'm saying. First off, you referenced the BuzzFeed article. I have the BuzzFeed article right here. So the very article you mentioned, I'm going off the BuzzFeed article. 11 said they did not recall it and it would be impossible to miss. 2 of them said it was creepy. 1 said it was entitled but not creepy. And another one said it wasn't creepy. Then another girl came out after those girls said their opinions of what happened or what didn't happen. And she said, I'm not voting for Donald Trump. I hear an echo, by the way. Is that me?
That would be you. Chat, do you guys hear an echo?
Microphone check, check. I hear it on my end, but I'm not screen recorded. I don't even have anything else going, so I don't know why. Kick me if you need to, but if it's good on your end, it's good for me.
Yeah, it's fine.
Cool. And I appreciate you yesterday, by the way. WU, my friend. WU, Parker. You guys are growing on me for bringing me up. So then one more girl came out, and she said, I'm not voting for Donald Trump, but I feel like the 2 that called it creepy are politically motivated, and not even Donald J. Trump deserves these lies to have about him. And I'll land my plane here to hear your response, my friend, with your premise at the start. You said changing rooms or dressing rooms. He said backstage, and that's in reference to the adult pageant. You're talking about the teen pageant right now, and those are 2 different situations. So the quote of the Howard Stern is for the adult pageant.
No, the quote for Howard Stern is him not specifying whether it's USA or Teen USA. And then I said it's also situations in which happened where it's Miss Teen USA. I wasn't just talking about Miss Teen USA. I was talking about Miss USA and Miss Teen USA. And backstage where people are changing, where no men are, where there are individuals that are naked, and Trump is getting away with it when he goes back there to check, that's clearly a changing room. That's clearly a dressing room. Okay, if you can't identify that as a dressing room, that's like saying that you can't identify something as a chair if it has 4 legs, a platform for you to sit on, and a back to it, like exactly the type of chair that I'm sitting on. That's ridiculous. If you describe what a chair is, you can still be referencing a chair. You don't have to specifically say the term in order for it to be that in of itself. And plus, in terms of the people that came out to said that this happened to them, they did say that this happened specifically in the changing rooms. And by the way, again, in the specific article that you're referencing from BuzzFeed, there was an individual that came out and said the youngest girl was 15. Do you agree?
The ages in the teen pageant were 15 to 19, but I have to clarify something for you. In his quote, he says backstage. Backstage is different than dressing rooms. He's allowed to go backstage. And from the quote of Howard Stern, and again, it is about the adult pageant because in the conversation they clarified, plus in the direct quote, what's the terminology he uses in the quote? Do you want to play the clip or shall I tell you?
Go ahead, say it, and I'll tell you if it's wrong.
He says adult, he says woman, and woman means an adult. Woman. If he said girls, then I would believe your point. I'm just being honest with you. It's irrefutable. You can play the clip. He said woman.
Yeah, but I think that they can use them in different contexts. Like, for example, Howard Stern, literally like a few sentences prior, said these foreign girls, they say like Mr. Trump, and, they did that. So he did use girls in a context in which was applicable to individuals that you would believe are adults, but clearly he used the term girls, which if you were to take in a literal sense would mean underage. So, by the way...
Yeah, but I'm going off what Trump said, not what Howard said. And your interpretation of what Howard said to then be correlated
but you
to Trump,
you don't take the notion of Howard Stern saying girls in that context in a literalist sense, do you?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Do you say the notion specifically of Howard Stern saying girls in that context is in a literalist sense?
Since we're talking about what Donald Trump said and meant, I'm going to go off of what Donald Trump said, sir.
I know, but like I'm just asking you, prior in that point, in that same conversation, was him saying girls in that context a literalist notion?
Can you play the clip from the start of Trump saying it? Like, let Trump say the full quote and then let it roll into Howard?
I think you're just purposefully not responding to what I'm saying here.
No,
I think I asked you a
Parker,
very specific question, and you're purposefully deciding to not respond to it.
Okay, I think you and Dean purposely run for me, so I had to sneak up here to get a combo. You saw Tax Pan American in the queue, and you dodged me there. I'm going live.
I didn't
when
even
kicked
know
me, by
you
the
were.
way.
I didn't even know you were in the queue, and you just said
You
yesterday
had
that I was the one
13
who saw
people.
you. Hey,
You
dude,
had 13 people.
and I didn't see you in the queue.
There's 13 people.
So I didn't see you.
Oh, I don't believe
So-
you, but okay.
Okay, regardless of whether or not you believe me, didn't I literally get you on Dean's Live yesterday by clicking on the thing and said you were there?
Because I
Because I saw you in the queue?
and I respect.
So
that.
then why are you
I
acting like
well,
I'm
that- I'll
running
tell
away
you.
from you or not adding you up when
I'll
I
tell
see
you.
you after
I'll
I
tell
literally
you.
just did that yesterday,
I'll
you
tell you.
dishonest. Like, this is why I'm going to say that you're a piece of shit for that. Because you purposefully knew that I didn't do that yesterday, and yet you're going to sit here and act like that I was purposefully
I'll tell you the
like trying to
difference.
run away from you today.
When you're done yelling at me, even though I'm being nice,
I'm
to
not
you,
yelling at you, and you're
you
not
just
being
said I was
nice
a
because
piece
you
of
just said
shit
that I was
and swore
dishonest.
at me, buddy. Buddy, you
Does that hurt
just
your
swore-
feelings? Because you literally just
It
came up
doesn't
here.
hurt my feelings, but I would like the same respect I'm giving you guys.
You're not showing me
especially-
respect. When you just said that I was
in-
running away from you for no reason.
Well, I can back up my claim. Now let me back up my claim. The
Go
reason
ahead.
I say that is, and I say this respectfully, and again, WU for when Dean was saying I was running and you pulled me up. That was honest and integrity of you. I like that. I don't know how to say integrity correctly there with the proper usage, but that showed integrity. I respect that. But the difference is, and I mean this respectfully, I really do, and maybe you would even agree. I think that Dean has a better chance against me. Even though I'm 8-0 against him, you were like, let Dean handle it. So that's why you did that. You run for me. But we're here now. It's all G. Trump said girls. He's allowed to go backstage.
Hey, TPA, go fuck yourself. That's what I have to say there.
Run away. Going live to change your fans, you coward. Run
You're
away.
not- you're
Charlie
g-
was
I'm
so
not
much better
running
than
you
you.
away.
You're
I'm not running away.
disgusting. Charlie Kirk.
Why are you like this?
You
right?
just
Like,
swore at me and muted me.
Yeah. Why? Because you just said that I was literally not able to debate you and that I was purposefully running away from you.
Oh, does
That's
that
what you
hurt
just
your
said.
feelings?
No, but I'm responding to it and I'm saying that's a dishonest way of framing it.
Well, at least I had a reasoning for it. And you,
didn't.
just went, why
you
are
didn't.
you
I
like
said it
this?
was dishonest. I explained how it was dishonest.
And I'm explaining why I said that.
But you didn't
Because
explain how it was honest. I explained directly how it was dishonest. How you're just clearly like either you're rage baiting or you're purposefully trying to pivot away from the things that I was saying, and that's why you're deciding to try to have a conversation like this. Like it's so
Not at all.
ridiculous
I
for you
want
to
go back
claim.
to the pageant.
Okay, well you just got a harassment and bullying violation.
I'll
If you have a
request up on
second account, I will add you up. But stop being a dick. Like literally, I called you a piece of shit because you decided to dishonestly frame the conversation in a manner which was clearly not representative of what actually happened in the conversation. Right? I wasn't not adding you up because of that. That's such a dumbass thing to say. Like how ridiculous, bro. Oh, you only brought me up against Dean because you knew that Dean would have a better chance against me because you knew that I would dog walk you. Are you fucking serious? What type of fucking stupid shit is that?
I'm allowed to have my opinion. So stop yelling and
Yeah, but-
swearing. If you want respect, if you want to be chill, then
No, then be honest. Don't
Coward
if you
with the mute.
if you don't
No,
want
I'm
me, if
honest
you
with
don't
my
want me to mute
opinion
you.
about what
Hey,
happened
if you
there.
don't want me to mute you, if you don't want me to swear at you, how about you stop being a dishonest piece of shit? Okay?
well, I was being honest.
You
You're
were
the one
not.
that's lying
You were
about
not being
everything.
honest.
You lie about everything.
It is not honest for you to sit there and you to act like I was scared of adding you up on the live because I seriously thought that Dean was a better debater than me to such a degree that I was scared of debating you. Are you serious?
Well, you
Like,
have kicked
that's a
me and
dishonest
used
thing to
every
say.
excuse well, the second debate you used excuses to get rid of me.
What excuse?
Don't kick me. I'm explaining. I swear to God, listen. When I
Because
was telling
it
you,
wasn't an
listen,
excuse. You literally
listen,
just said you said your
listen.
social like a
No.
million
Well, let me
times and wouldn't
explain.
stop saying it.
Sir, let me explain for real.
Okay.
You were asking me about a source.
Don't yell
I
at me.
have on my-
Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling at you.
You were yelling at me.
Well, you're yelling and swearing like you guys did to Kenzie on Dean's Live today, like you do to women. Do you really want to have a debate about who
I
yells
wasn't
more?
I wasn't
This
on
is
Dean's
recorded
live
at-
today. I wasn't on
Okay.
Dean's live today.
Well, it's an everyday thing with you two. Look how you're treating me
Then
right
what
now.
are you
Have
talking about?
fun.
You just made something up. You literally just made that up.
All
I
right, so
wasn't even
here's what
on
I wanna
Dean's
tell you.
live.
All I was trying to say in that time when you used it as an excuse to get rid of me because you knew you were losing was on my YouTube, I have the links there. I was trying to tell you that's where the links are to go watch the videos of Bobert proving you wrong.
No,
Mace
so-
proving you wrong. Things
So
like
no,
that.
that's not what you were saying. That's not what you were saying.
Yes,
You kept purposefully trying to direct people towards your socials instead of actually engaging in a debate with me. That's why I kicked you.
Fake news.
And by the way,
Fake news.
that's not fake news. That's
Yes, it is.
literally what happened.
Who knows what my intention was more, you or me?
I think I clearly know that that was your intention because you kept doing it in the conversation.
Not true. You asked for a source. On my YouTube has the sources, the
No,
links. I put them there
you
for a
can-
reason.
Why can't you just tell me what the
Whatever.
source is
Can we
without?
debate?
Why can't you just tell me what the source is without saying your YouTube channel?
Because there's so much information in politics, as
It wasn't.
you know.
It wasn't.
And
I was asking you for one specific source,
you
and
have
you
an
were trying to
excuse for
continue
what
to bring
source? What were you asking me for? What source?
I would have to go back and look at the specific source. I
Because
just
you can't
remember it was a
remember because
specific
you're a human
source.
being, and that's okay. But sometimes we can't
Okay.
remember everything, Parker. So when you ask me for
Okay.
a source, if I can't remember the name and I know, yeah, I'm not mad at you. I'm explaining. You're doing the same thing that was happening to me in that
No,
moment.
by the way, I gave you time to go look it up. I do this with every person. If you have time to look it up, if you have time to go find it, you do not specifically need to keep mentioning the idea that you're YouTube. And plus, I gave you an off-road. I literally said, stop doing this, and you kept doing it. I said, stop doing it. You
No.
kept doing it. I said, stop doing it
No.
probably 5 or 6 times in that conversation.
Not true. But that's where we're disagreeing.
Okay, wait.
I'm telling you my
Hey,
intention.
TPA,
of
hey,
saying-
TPA, do you want to bet on
Cut me
that?
off.
Do you want to bet on that? Because that is on YouTube. You want to bet?
No, I know that you. Kept
No,
saying,
you don't wanna
do that.
bet?
But on that time when let me talk, are you
That's what I
going to let me
thought.
talk? Because if you don't let me talk, then you can.
You won't take the bet. You won't take the bet because you know
well,
you're wrong.
I'll tell you what the bet is because you don't know.
So just
The
stop
point was,
lying.
on that. All right, you stop lying. When you
You're-
guys lie
I'm
about
not
the
lying. You're
seditious
the one
six that
actually
Dean lied
lying.
yesterday, and Donald Trump's press secretary
Nice
says
pivot.
no, and she was directly at.
Nice
well, I want
pivot.
to talk about politics.
Nice pivot. I say he's lying, and he's like, "Oh, but Dean lied yesterday." What? What? What
do you
type of
wanna
pivot
talk
is
about
that?
the
I
politics,
just
or
said
do you wanna
you
talk about
lied,
why you're a
and then
liar?
you're just like, "Oh, Dean Withers lied yesterday." What type of
Do you
pivot
want
is
to talk
that?
about politics, or do you want to talk about why you're a
Do
liar?
you want to? I literally brought up how you specifically lied, and then you brought up Dean Withers lied yesterday. Is that a pivot? Yes or no?
You lie all the time.
Is that a pivot? Yes or no?
You lie all the.
Is that a pivot? Yes or no?
You just lied today.
He can't do it. Is that a pivot? Yes or no?
Nope.
Okay. So you bringing up Dean Withers lying instead of responding to the fact that you lied is clearly a
crashing out.
pivot. Okay, you're clearly pivoting in that scenario. Why are you being dishonest like this? Why do you have to act like a kid and not acknowledge truth? Like, why are you like this?
I want to talk politics. I want to talk facts and politics.
How can I talk politics with someone who won't acknowledge what I just blatantly said was obvious? Seems
like you're pivoting from politics. Why are you running from politics?
Hey,
Kick me
TPA,
then.
TPA, I will
I'm going live when you kick me and changing your fucking
TPA.
fans' minds, dude.
Hey, TPA, I will literally
buddy?
continue to engage in this conversation with you, but I need you to respond to the things that I'm saying. I don't know why you're acting like this. You explicitly in that scenario were pivoting by bringing up Dean. Can you acknowledge that you were pivoting?
Nope. I want to talk politics.
Are you really this much of a child? Are you really
I'm using that as an example.
Are you really that unable to engage in a conversation that I literally bring up the fact that you lied, and then you immediately bring up, oh, Dean Withers said this one thing that I consider a lie, which is clearly not relevant to the idea that you lied. Okay?
Well, you say
Any
the same
reasonable
lie.
human being in this
You
scenario,
say the same lie.
any reasonable human being in this scenario can identify that you are pivoting in that scenario. And you are completely and unequivocally getting rid of your credibility when you say that. So why don't you just acknowledge and be truthful that in that context that was clearly a pivot and you were just emotional with the things that I brought up prior because you said that I was swearing at you.
Okay, I see your point. First off, I apologize for just right there a moment ago. I said the F word. I don't like to swear, so I apologize to anybody watching and anybody who watches on the playback. I don't like to swear. I know Parker and Dean like to. I don't like to do that. I apologize. You're saying I'm pivoting right now. Respectfully, I think you're pivoting from the pageant stuff right now to talk about this. I think you know you're losing.
Can you acknowledge the point that I made and then we can move forward? Because I think that when you don't acknowledge the point that we've just made there, it makes you seem obviously dishonest.
I can't
that
lie.
you're
I disagree with
unwilling
you. I
to
disagree
acknowledge
with
the
you.
truth.
I disagree. I think you're pivoting from talking politics with me.
Sir,
Which would then stand true to my point that you're afraid to discuss politics.
Okay. Hey, dude. Like, this is just ridiculous. Like, I'm actually, right now, you bring up Dean to deflect away from the fact that I brought up that
I
you
don't
lied.
want to talk about Dean.
You're the one who brought him up.
Yep, I take it back. I want to talk politics.
I'm actually serious here. Please, can you just talk to me like you talk to Dean? Why are you acting like this?
I completely agree with you. So
Why
let's
do
reset.
you do
Let's have
this?
a
Like,
good
I can't
convo.
even have an actual conversation with you.
You're right. So let's reset. Let's have a convo. You started
Okay.
off. What do you want to talk about? I want to talk
I
politics.
want you to first acknowledge that you pivoted. And once you
If I
acknowledge that
don't
you're
believe-
pivoted, I will then
But
be
what do
able
I-
to continue on with the conversation.
But
Well,
what do I do if I
TPA,
wholeheartedly disagree? Can I talk? You asked me a question.
You clearly
Parker,
you clearly
can I ask
did
you-
pivot in the scenario. It's not something you can disagree upon.
PGAJ. Can I PGAJ? Can I?
I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my time. Like, why does he do that? Like, I literally can't have a conversation with him. Like, it's impossible to do that. Like I'm literally like, you obviously pivoted in that scenario. I'm describing how you pivoted multiple times, and you purposefully won't acknowledge that because you're acting like a child. Like, seriously, dude. It's like I'm talking to a 6-year-old that won't engage with the point. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't know how an adult can act like that. I really don't understand that no matter how much you try to do to level with him, that he will never at all try to engage. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Fuck you, faggot. Remember?
You're disgusting. Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
On the side of the circle. You're out.
Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen. I have a few people to thank real quick. Mike, thank you so much for the $2, by the way. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Literally a dressing room, exactly. Elise as well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I think they're just dishonest and they won't acknowledge it no matter what. They're just they just act like children when they realize that they're wrong. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh wait, you already had me on earlier. Sorry.
Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen. We're just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria listed on the TikTok screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay. Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen, everybody. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay. Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
He looked really confused.
Okay. Let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the TikTok screen. Again, everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Chat, I literally have not gotten a response on that appeal that I originally sent at the beginning of my stream for integrity and authenticity. And it's been this whole time. Like, how long is it going to take for me to get a response back, dude? It's unbelievable. I'm just going to hit a restart here on TikTok. This is unbelievable, dude. Like, it's like every day I get that, and then literally I get no response. Even though they said that I got a ban. Like, it's just so fucking annoying. I'll be right back here on TikTok. Give me a quick second, everyone.